Check. Neat. Okay. What time is it in Australian Eastern Time? (9 a.m. on a Wednesday. Okay. So that might be a little bit tricky for one of our VOD reviewees. No, not Eastern Time, Australian Eastern Time. American Eastern Time, it's 6:03 p.m. Yes. That is not what I asked. 6:04 actually. Fine. Time has in fact passed since we were last talking about it. Good morning, Japan. Hallo, mein Freund. Guten Abend. Guten Nacht. Deutschland. Ja. Nacht. That's about all I got. Morgan? I guess it's technically Morgan. What did the thing say about voting? The thing. Do you mean the live notification? If you are an American adult and you have not voted yet, you should go do that instead of watching Squid School. Polling places are, I think, open everywhere in the country still. That'll probably change by the time the stream is done, but not everywhere. Oh, people are talking about voting for me? I see. Yeah. If somebody decides to write me in for state senator of Kentucky, I don't know what I'd do about that. Would I move to Kentucky to take advantage of my newfound power over Kentucky? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's say just a random write-in vote. Everybody puts me down. And I just get elected senator. Do I go and teach Congress how to play Splatoon? Is that my duty to my country at that point? I have no power here. Well, that's a good thing. It is a good thing that other nations do not have power to influence the elections of my country. That would constitute fraud, as it turns out. That leads to problems. How do I get you to review stuff? DM me on Discord. The Discord server can be found in a number of places, including from the link that I am going to put right here. Ooh, Splatoon amiibo. Congratulations, Jamie. Is fraud a crime? Oh. Voter fraud is kind of a problem. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, okay, we need to come up with a better reason for it to be wrong than for it to be a crime. But, maybe the fact that, like, other foreign powers are able to influence elections and take away people's rights granted by their government to influence said government. That'd be problematic. Uh-oh, this is great Syria. Well, okay, it depends, like, who are you using voter fraud to support here, huh? Like let's hear it. Which side are you stacking? This is false. Please do not take this for an actual. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Am I watching Splatoon or political education? Well, that depends. Am I the senator of Kentucky or not? Nobody's told me yet. Voter fraud for Gem. Voter fraud for Gem. That would be a wonderful rally cry. That would never get used against me. Legalize voter fraud just for Gemini. I am above the law. I will not use this except to become the senator of Kentucky. I promise. You have my word. I don't know. That's the sort of promise that Palpatine made, and then he just decided not to. And we all know how that ended up. At least until episode 9, which is a little confusing. Okay, well. None of the VOD reviewees have hopped into the voice chat at this point. Which, there are 3 of them. I know, the reason I was asking earlier about Australian Eastern Standard Time is that one of them is on that time zone, and that might not be especially conducive to them joining us on the stream today. So, not sure about that, but let's check here real quick. I've got a couple message requests. But, okay. Nothing from those individuals. Excuse me. So, we might just start summoning some guests. Also, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, Hydro Airplane. So you're hydroplaning, but it's an airplane, so it's an airplane that's wet. I don't know, but thank you. Here's a pup. Okay, and we're gonna go here. So the summoning of guests begins. Only cats, cat supremacy. This dog is fine. This dog is good. He is nice. Maybe a little needy sometimes, but he's very cute. I know, I have met this one personally. That is a cat. Okay. Okay, chat. Let's go over to here. And I'll put that in there. Okay. We are distributing the password to others. And we'll see if people are able to pop in. Neat. All right, we got one more. Thank you for the membership, Michael Lockwood. Appreciate you. All right, we've got a couple of eyes emojis in the Teacher Bribers channel here, so we should be getting some folks in here shortly, I would think. Got any birdie guards? Actually, no. I don't think I have any birds. That should be remedied. Hold on. Let me double check and make sure that this is correct. But I don't think we have birds.
Oh, burbs.
No, we've got axolotls, we've got bunnies, we've got cows. Well, just those cows. We've got dogs, we've got a frog, we've got an iguana and a kitty. We don't have any birds. Here, I'm gonna give us an axolotl. Here is axolotl. Doesn't quite fit on screen super well. There we go. We'll do it like this. This is pretty good. I should probably change the title of this from bird so that I do not get confused. Actually, you know what? We're keeping it at bird. We're gonna make it confusing. And I'm gonna bring that up and I'm gonna be like, I don't remember having a bird, and then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's not a bird. It's a whooper, guys.
A whooper.
Neat. All right. So we've got the whooper. We're still waiting for one more person to join here. Still no response from any of our VOD reviewees. And there we go. We've got Phantomu.
Phantomu.
All right. So we'll just stick to the shot for now. Got Phantomu with the tri-stringer propaganda as always.
I think one of your VOD reviewees just hopped in waiting room, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, there they are.
Here, I'll join you.
Hi, Clover. Clover, you are welcome to join us in the Anarchy Open matches here.
Let me just invite socially awkward into the or tell them to go to the waiting room.
All right, sounds good.
So that they can get in.
We are actually going to have two people here. So Devi was in first. If we wouldn't mind making some room for our VOD reviewees here, now that we actually have them.
You guys can go ahead. It's fine.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just.
Never mind then. We'll just go.
Here,
We'll wait until next game.
I'll allow you to see live view
Oh, okay.
from my footage in the
Devi's
meantime.
excuse me. Devi's gonna stream their perspective in the VC. So that's neat. There's a question in chat. What does the UTY stand for in CloverUTY?
It's basically like there's this one fan game for Undertale called Undertale Yellow, and the main protagonist of that fan game is called Clover, and I thought might as well use that because I like the idea of the game that much.
Okay.
And I just haven't changed it yet, and I hope that if I ever decide to like stream or something, I hope I don't get sued.
I don't think Toby Fox is the type who would sue for that, but...
No, not Toby Fox, but the developers of the
okay.
game.
Oh. Gamer tags have this way of sticking. You become known by that thing, and so if you ever do want to switch it, It's something to think about sooner than later for sure. Most people choose their gamer tag way before they realize that that's going to be their gamer tag. Like, there was a top Super Smash Bros. Melee player who, for the longest time, had Dr. PP as their gamer tag.
Oh.
They just got, like, best in the world, and were like, well, I guess I'm stuck with this dumb joke name I came up with in middle school now. Nice. That player was rushing for the Rainmaker pop in a situation where they were going to get splatted by the Rainmaker pop before they were going to splat me.
I just got a quick update from my friend. They said they want them to go vote, so they're gonna go do that real quick.
All right, good. That is important.
Oh, I underestimated brush range. Whoopsie daisies.
I have got Devi up really loud, and I am going to fix that real quick. Apologies for dying, team.
In the meantime, I will stay silent. Oh,
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I've already fixed it.
I am getting rushed. Come on, Rain. Rain's won, but I'm like
I got pushed on
very
left.
dead.
No, I'm down.
No.
I think that's game. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate.
It's it was already showing the word game on screen when, when you said
Oh,
that.
Yeah, it's
well,
like, is that game?
stream
Like,
delay,
they're
stream delay.
dunking. Oh, I have, what is it? I have live perspective up in Discord if you want to see that.
Yeah, I am watching that.
Okay.
Man, if I get informed that there were actually a significant number of people who wrote me in on their elections, I guess there were a lot of races where it was like it's a position for judge that nobody is contesting, and so
Yeah.
it's like you either vote for this person or you vote a write-in.
I mean, is it even possible to be voted into a position of power without your knowledge or consent?
I mean, if people write you in, I'm sure they'll at least contact you and be like, hey.
Let me Google it while you're doing that match.
Okie dokie, we're fighting crabs.
I mean, the real answer is it's not possible in that it will not happen.
Oh!
Because not enough people will know about you unless you're making a real attempt at it, but...
One scenario where you can be voted into a position of power is if you get chosen to become Pope, but that has never happened, and probably would never happen anyway.
What do you mean? I'd make a great Pope.
Well,
I'm very Catholic, trust me.
I don't know if anyone has seen that CPG Grey video where he talked about how to become Pope.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
Yeah. TLDR, you need to become a cardinal, and you can only become cardinal by being a bishop, and you have to, yeah. As CPG Grey said, climb the Catholic corporate ladder.
I'm gonna only move diagonally from now on, and then I will be a bishop. We'll start there.
Oh, there's there one behind us?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got them. I
I
got
love
them.
it.
Oh, there's the toxic mist.
If you need me to shut up, just say comms, and I'll shut up.
We are doing callouts and whatnot, so it'd be good to keep those clean for the time being.
Okay, there's at least two on the right, two on the upper left.
Splash on plat.
They're too weak on their plot. I could have grabbed that, but I didn't. Crab.
Yep, crab.
I'm gonna
I'm
just
down.
wait behind there. The best I can. This is very risky. Come here, Splash. I cannot see
I'm
what's
trying to
about
paint your
to
feet
be thrown
here.
at me. Yeah, I thought someone ninja squidded behind me. There was somebody else near me besides the tri-stringer.
2 on the right.
One dropped far left.
I got the stringer.
They're still trying to flank us left. Oh my god, that's annoying. They're just throwing burst bombs at me over and over again.
Yeah, I'm pivoting left for you.
Let's just go right. Grab it, go right. They're on our left, and we can leave them behind.
There's 2 on plat. You can flank that.
I got one. Oh, the
Got
one
2.
on the left got me.
Just the one on the left. And they're on me. Oh, well. I was a little slow on the Trizuka shot. That's unfortunate. Popping in after voting. There we go, Z-Tech. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff, good stuff.
Got the splash.
Oh, I hit that stringer. Stringer's one. I gotta back up though.
I'm holding plat at the moment.
Okay, I can follow up with rain.
Got one.
Nice,
Holding
Will.
plat.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff coming my way. Try stringer, and I'm in mist.
Got 2 with a bomb.
2 down.
It's just two.
To my ouch.
Go on.
Nice,
Two and
one
two.
more, one more.
Yeah, they're on Rainmaker. On podium. Now they pop grab. I'm backing off.
Good lead. Oh boy, I don't want to be here right now.
I'm dropping plat. Can't hold that.
Got one.
I'm tossing chickens while I'm getting pushed out. Oh, I almost got that Rainmaker. One more shot, that would have been epic. Right beside you, Narco.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yep.
Got 2.
Nice.
Got 3. Holy smokes!
Just the
Good.
left side was Trizinger.
Top
I
left,
saw
top
that.
left, top
Nice
left,
shot.
right. Yeah.
Nice shooting, Dewey. Or Devi. My bad. It's hard to tell.
They are
if
both
it's a
Devi
W
and
or
Dewey.
2 V's.
I'm both, don't worry. Oh, I messed that up.
Devi.
Ugh.
You were very
Still anyone's-
devious.
Still
Behind.
anyone's
Yep.
game.
Oh, flying by. Yep.
Crab.
Yeah, crab there now. Slow him down if you can.
Got 2.
Nice. Nice, nice. I'm gonna rush them.
Same. They're stuck. Go, go, go.
Go move.
Beautiful. Beautiful. One in front of you. One
At
in front
least
of you.
get in the middle.
traded.
Get in the middle.
It's just pro in mid.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. They're gonna get overtime if they pop. We're just gonna try and keep it unpopped.
Pro on you, Debbie.
I know. Not like they're gonna do much from there.
That's gonna pop it.
Ah, shoot. I threw it too early.
Oh. Did it? Oh, nice.
We
pick up.
snagged it, so that was good.
Nice game.
Yeah, no, I had to throw it when I
That-
did, or I would have gotten shredded by the
Devi,
throw.
that kill on the Rainmaker right when they got to 32 was like so clutch. I saw that. That was good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that was good.
I just realized that I have not had captions on, so that should be working now. So hopefully that comes online for Twitch viewers in a minute here. Apologies for that
I'll
taking
let
a
you
minute.
know if it pops up.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, I get all of the silver medals.
And are you sure you don't want to hop in with us, Clover? Clover and Socially Awkward?
Well, Socially Awkward's still voting.
Oh,
I
voting,
think.
right. But do you want to join it?
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to hit stop,
I-
and then we'll go in with the... Excuse me.
I'm just gonna.
It was Phantomu who got in here last, so if you wouldn't mind Phantomu hopping out for Clover, who is one of our VOD reviewees. Really appreciate you coming and filling in, though, and thanks for playing.
I am on Team Fire, because fire is my element.
I chose water just because like I just wanted to have a team so I could get the snails and stuff. I don't really care about which team who wins.
Fair enough. I think I just chose water because my team chose water.
Oh, did I not send you a friend request, Gem?
I can check and see. Here is the password that I just sent you. I'm going and checking for the friend requests.
I don't think I
Do
sent
you have the
one.
same gamer tag?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. I see a Hydro, a Robin. I see
Here,
a
I'll
lot of people,
DM you my code real quick. If that...
let me send you mine because
Actually, yeah, that's a better idea.
Yeah.
So I don't get a bunch of friend requests from people I don't even know.
Oh.
Alright, I'm ready when winning.
I'm ready to get drowned
Oh,
and
I
also
see
burnt
it.
to a crisp. Oh goodness.
Also, I almost tried to type in the code with my keyboard.
Fire, air, earth, water, bird.
Bird.
Alright,
In this case,
sent.
it's axolotl.
What are you talking
Okay.
about? This is a bird.
Wait, let me. Oh, I see it. Alright, I sent you the friend request.
Yeah, I mean, grass is statistically speaking probably the safer option at this point, because it does appear that the other two are more popular, and so far, the team that
Never sweep.
was winning in round 1 has always lost. Room is
Yeah.
back up, and the password is what we said it was. So
Yeah,
we should have
got it.
Narco, Debbie, and Clover.
I forgot to hit refresh.
Great. I just recently got my hat with last ditch effort. It took so many chunks to get, but finally got it.
Shiver has subscribed.
Nice.
I was,
In the YouTube chat.
I was. What team was I Team Shiver for? Team Gear? Yeah, I was Team Gear.
Team Gear, and then what? Did you participate?
I was in the
Rock
Splatfest premiere. I was Team Paper. So
Yeah, I was Team Rock. I
chose a
loved
rock.
that in the when they were announcing the Splatfest, that Shiver actually brought up that they won both Splatfests, and Fry was like, "Wow, you went there."
Well, they have to
What-
do something.
one day the Grass Nation attacked.
My what is it? I was posting my stream schedule on Twitter yesterday, and I put how like Splatfest was this weekend, and I put yes, Splatfest.
One on right, one on right.
Where the Fire Nation attacks in a good
I'm
way.
holding.
Holding left, yeah.
I'm gonna push ballpoint. Ballpoint's off.
Very good, very good.
Oh, ballpoint.
I'm taking and moving left.
Yep, going forward.
Go on.
You're
Last
clear.
Wait for
one's on
me.
the low
Nice.
right.
Okay,
Easy.
I'm not picking up second time. I'm pushing up.
I can-
Yeah, I'm with you.
Ballpoint in Squelcher.
can't word
Ballpoint's up on hill.
I'm down.
I
Splash on
also-
left.
I'm marking.
Flash week didn't get him.
okay.
Just go, just
Oh.
go. Yeah.
I'm falling back.
52 dropped off.
I'm
me on
raining
rail.
that. You guys can jump. I'm pretty safe right now.
It might actually be better if I
I'm not
don't
sure
pick
about
it up.
that.
I have more
As
control.
you were about to land the 52 gal game out of the wall.
Oh, I'm down. Yeah.
Rain's mine.
All right,
I'm down though.
get back in.
A little staggered, yeah.
On left, on left.
I got pincered.
You're on your own, Gem.
Right side on Gem.
Not anymore.
Someone's pushing up on the right too, besides
I
Rain.
I just barely didn't
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
alright, it's alright.
You can go back. You can come back. I died to Wavebreaker. Sculpture is on the ramp. They're going. By
I
blue.
threw a couple chickens at it. I have Booyah Bomb too. Oh,
Flying from
hello.
left.
I got you, but I traded.
Yeah.
I find it funny how when I die from a flank, it spins my Hydra like a top.
Got
Ooh.
3.
Oh, that's 3 down.
Nice.
Nice.
Sculpture's left on the.
Yeah, they're
platform.
on the Rainmaker.
Gone. Wipe
Nice.
out.
Yeah.
Nice. Push, push, push.
Going
One's
left.
gonna drop right, 3 left. Oh no.
I'm
they
waiting
came
for
up
you.
here.
Mark. Got.
Watch
52
the
down.
rail. They like dropping from rail.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
gonna see if I can do this.
Just
Oh, we
back
have
up.
lead. Just fall
We have
back
lead.
in.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got ambushed from behind. They're pushing in med right now. They're
Yeah,
on
I'm
mid
watching.
ramp.
Rainmaker's ahead.
Flank left.
I stalled with Booyah.
Rainmaker down.
Flank.
There
There's
you
a
go.
52 gals trying to flank.
They have a lot
Yeah,
of paint.
I'm
by
pro-
our
yeah,
first
I'm-
check.
Yeah, I'm trying to paint it.
Watch for sharks.
I'm
They're
behind
going
you.
all the way, all the way.
I
I
got
traded with. I died by. Got 50 gals.
Yeah, 2 on right.
Both of
2
them
on
are by
right
the
lane.
ramp. One behind that
I'm
box.
just dropping this in
if
mid.
You can see it.
Got 52.
Good stuff. Got another.
Oh, yes, we can.
Yeah.
That's three.
Nice.
That's three.
Got
Just ball
Vulture.
point. Where's ball point?
Ball point.
Left,
over
left,
by
flat.
ramp. They're marked.
Mark.
They inkjetted.
I'm
weak.
gonna
Got
stay
'em.
behind this. Nice.
I'm waiting for
Yeah,
you.
watch your
One
right.
right.
Watch the right.
I'm down from left.
We got 2. That's 3 down.
The stagger.
I'm
VDS.
right.
Top right.
behind
Top right is
the
last.
rail,
Top right
behind
is
the
last. Go, go, go.
I'm good. I'm good. I can get it.
There we go.
Got it.
I just shredded 2
Nice.
of them.
We win these.
All right,
I
we
saw
got
the
some
bomb.
voters in the chat. Let's go.
Nice.
Yo.
Very good at getting the stuff
I
on rails.
voted like on the 6th, so I didn't have to deal with it.
Even though I'm from a different country, encouraging to vote still here.
You can affect the election by 0.01%.
Yeah, I figure
If
like Canadians should get like at least like 10% of the vote or something, right?
For America?
Sure.
We're,
10 Canadians have to go to the
They're
poll to make
close
one
enough.
vote.
They don't even have as strong of accents anymore.
and they don't drink as much maple syrup anymore.
Excuse me?
I don't know if that's
the
true.
legal
Debbie,
reasons
can you
as a
confirm?
joke.
I mean, it depends on how much people like to drown their pancakes in. Then you're literally drinking it.
Have some pancakes with your maple syrup. Yes.
and
Thank
then
you
just
for
drown it in syrup.
thank you for the donation, the anime hero, and also thank you for voting.
Is this the same team? No.
No.
No,
been
they
more ball
had Bully
points.
Sculptures last game. But we still have a.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow. Okay, two on left.
I got one. Probably might not
Nice.
get the other.
Sheen's weak on behind this pillow.
Oh, the bomb got me.
Got him eventually.
Oh wait, Shark behind by Rainmaker. He's jumping up. He's going back on rim.
Very weak on right. Nice.
Holding left.
Another one pushing me.
pushing
Another one
left.
pushing me.
Yeah,
Behind
pivoting.
Ricky.
Hit him
Slosher
twice.
ran out of ink for a second.
He's right behind it, on the wall.
Gone.
If I'm gonna get killed here. Yeah, I'm dead.
Holding left. There's one on right side.
Tommy's right.
Yeah.
Slosher's
They're on the right
by
ramp.
the
They're weak.
checkpoint.
Hit him twice. They're down.
I'm jumping.
Jet.
One left below.
Jet got me.
Oh, it's a bomb!
I almost got Jet. You're the only one left.
Yep.
Narco.
Oh, no, I'm down.
Alright.
All right. It's fine. Oh. Okay.
They're waiting
I'm
for my
dead.
charge to end.
Two pushing through on left.
They're
Yeah, I can't hold that.
I need help with getting around the pillow.
I'm coming.
Trade Rainmaker.
Oh, this is bad. I'm just gonna... Bye, guys.
Thank you for your
Like,
sacrifice,
unplug your
Debbie.
router.
On right.
I almost hit
Whoa.
him.
What a position where it's either you go into the water or you take death by tri-strike.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was unfortunate, but can't win them all.
This is getting awfully close to Canadian. What? No, Canadians will still be allowed to vote in their own elections.
Yeah.
I'm not
did
saying that
do
they can
well.
only vote
got-
like 1/10 in the
I got
American
the first
elections.
splat, and that was my only splat.
They can vote in their own elections and then a little bit in ours. Not a ton, just a little bit.
A little bit, a wee bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not do that well that game.
This is
That
some
slosher got
3/5
the
Canadian
slosher and the
compromise
ballpoint
kind of
did
stuff.
really well. They got 6 and 1 both.
I find I am much better not taking objective on this one because I have a lot more control power for you guys.
Yeah, and you because you're the
True.
Hydra, you have the most range out of all of us, so you might as well use it.
And it's Mahi, so it's a lot of power.
Yes.
Until a slosher or blaster gets in my face.
You want to know
But
one
there
map
was
I
only
think they
the-
should change a little bit? With the I think they should change slightly Splat Zone's eel tail because the zone is so big. Like you have to paint like almost all of it in order to even get the zone.
True.
It's ridiculous.
True.
Maybe split it into 2 smaller zones and it would be perfect, I think.
I can think of 32 maps where we could make
yeah,
some small
there's
changes.
a lot.
Also
Yeah.
true.
Happen.
32 maps yet. Oh wait, I was gonna say like there's only 12 maps.
Well, you're talking about a single map mode. There
Oh
are
yeah, you're right.
48 map mode.
coming
Well, I
in
guess
the
if you
middle.
count Turf War, there's more, but
Did we have? Are we playing at? We're playing at the same people, I think.
Oh,
'Cause
yep,
the
we are.
ballpoint's back.
Got 52.
At least one of them, because I think it's one
Yeah.
same person, but they're in
Wailing
a different
mid.
open group.
I'm flanking
Yeah,
right.
but the weapons are.
I am seen by like 3 people. I am down. Mid is free. Just make sure you don't get
Watch
flanked.
the
Left,
boat.
left, watch left, left. There was a paint there. Flank
I
behind,
see.
flank behind,
Oh.
flank behind.
I
Can't hold
That
that.
was
cannot.
I
I
was
cannot
the furthest
see.
forward.
We're all dead, pretty much. They're gonna get the checkpoint here.
There's a lot happening here.
Yep. They're moving right side checkpoint.
Inkjet is in the air.
52.
Oh, there's still one
I
behind.
almost could have gotten the
Oh.
Okay.
before they got
Did they-
checkpoint. I
Oh,
I,
they went over podium. Right.
This will be the one time I say this game is that we need to not hold hands with me.
Yeah. I saw movement in the ink. Yep, I saw Shirk.
Got one.
Nice.
Nice.
You got him. I'll take
There's
Rain.
one top left.
Yeah, it's
52 underneath.
There's one behind you guys.
Yeah, traded. You got 52. You good, you good.
flanking
I'm
right
wailing
flat.
left.
I'm dead to ballpoint.
Yeah, they got me. I need to
There's
stop
one in
trying
left
that.
carousel.
That ballpoint's really good. I'll give him credit.
One underneath right carousel.
There's also one left.
Traded.
Stringer in mid. Stringer
Yeah.
down.
Clover
Yo.
behind you.
Thank you. It's gonna mark them. I don't have bombs.
There's one on the right as well.
The person I marked is so low. I don't know what they are.
52 down. Bottom right. It's plat.
Raining
Oh.
that.
Stringer
Get into
down.
the checkpoint at
I
least.
got checked, but
Yeah.
All right.
we're
Alright,
three
we
down.
have-
It's just
half a-
narco.
Yep,
just
yep.
play it safe, Marco.
No one's
I'm
chasing. I'm gonna jump in.
Yeah, I'm pivoting left.
with you.
Ah, and the Rainmaker just guessed.
Yeah. Rain is. I got Rain.
Nice
Nice.
job. 2 in mid. 2 in mid. 2 in mid.
Yep. Got.
Got
Oh, there's
one.
one behind on the right.
Got Tri-Stringer.
Crap.
over
They're
your
on my
right.
jump. They're on my jump.
I see where.
Behind
Is
left
it
plat.
Rain?
Behind left plat. Actually, they're
I-
underneath it.
I can get Rain right now and probably get a point.
There's one under left carousel. Watch for
Yeah.
flank yet again.
I
They're
went
coming
to
out the
throw my
wall.
marker and I
They
shouldn't have
just
done
went
that.
back the conservative way.
I popped the Rain for them.
Got one.
I had to drop plat.
Oh,
Uh,
12 point got me.
Ballpoint's dead. They're all.
Okay, nice. Where's bow?
Tri-Stringer's
Got
left.
two.
Oh, nice,
Go,
nice.
Wipe, that's
go,
a wipe.
go, go.
That's a wipe. Let's go.
Push,
paint
push,
the left.
push,
Paint the
push.
left. Paint the left.
I'm pushing.
Yeah, I'm
Raining
moving,
left.
moving.
Raining.
One in court. Weak. Got him.
Push, 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 push.
Wailing.
Another
2
one.
left.
Right checkpoint. Just keep going. Keep going.
Got Tri-Stringer.
Still right plat. Keep
Push,
going.
push, push. Nice. I'm painting side. Ballpoint is.
One in the
low.
corner.
I got a
Nice.
double.
2 left. 2 alive.
I'm in toxic
Tri-Stringer's
mist.
up.
One finally flanking.
You might
On-
be able to get it.
On left. On left. On
I,
left.
I'm
Just
stuck.
push.
I had no paint.
I got one.
Push though.
Got
Good
2.
push though. Oh, nice.
I'm dead. 2 dead Tri-Stringers up in their spawn.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ballpoint got
They
me.
have-
Watch the jet.
they have to be very careful about how they approach this. They have a minute.
Oh, the wall.
Where are they going? I don't see
Left
them.
carousel. They flank.
They're going mid. They're going
52 in, our
bottom
in
left.
carousel. 2 carousel.
Two there, two there.
There's
found
one
one
right
plat, one
beside
plat.
the Rainmaker. Yeah.
I'll point up
left,
top.
Left.
Gem plot, gem plot.
I
Yeah, I'm
got
down.
one underneath.
Nice try.
I'm down. Nice.
Just
One
slow them
with
down.
Rainmaker, one in front of it. Actually, on plat, on plat.
Full points panicking. I'm trying to get him.
Go 52. Rainmaker down.
I'm gonna camp
That
the
Inkjet, yeah.
Inkjet.
Got
We
him.
got
Oh,
it.
nice. Nice. Good job.
One
I
more,
want
one more
Rainmaker.
here, on right, on right.
Oh.
Fine.
Shot. They're weak. Got him.
Dead.
Nice.
There's a jump.
Jumper.
Trade jump.
They still got you, but we got it.
Nice.
Yes, whatever.
That was a good fight.
We just needed to keep him off the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
That end trying to go towards the pedestal. It's like, okay, there's toxic mist. Okay, there's arrows. I'm trying to jump through the inks the best I can. I can't
I did
move.
so well, and look, and my one thing I got was Inkstorm user.
Oh.
Thank fuck you, game.
Can you be ever so wise and tell me a few tips so I may not suck at this game ever wise gem? So, I recommend splatting opponents and not being splatted by opponents.
No.
Wow.
Do you have a PhD in Splatoon? I mean, like you are Squid School, so what am I saying?
I am the organization that distributes the PhDs.
Oh, so you're like PhD.
Exactly.
That even makes sense.
Write that down. Write that down.
All right. What we got? A Squeezer, Splat,
Oh, Storm
Junior,
Hero,
and
okay.
Charger. Not the worst.
I know there's
but
splatter shot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can flank with you, Jim.
They're 2 top left, by the way, you 2.
This isn't really a flank
Okay,
anymore.
they're all
This is
in
just
that
a
one
push.
little crevice there. They're all in there.
Bring them
They're
back,
going-
Jen.
Yeah,
I should have told you to back up.
I could not back up.
Oh
if
wow.
you
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming over. They're going left. I'm
Yeah,
gonna see if I
I'm
can stop
They're
them.
going right.
Oh, come
The
on.
rest are out of position. You can just get the Rainmaker.
Oh, dang it! I just didn't
2 mid.
have time.
They're all 4 up there.
Yeah, Zuko, watch Zuko.
Trying not to pop it.
I'm gonna see if I can flank them.
Got
Nice,
one.
he killed one.
Got you.
Splat got me, or I got.
Nice,
No, he's
nice,
good.
nice, nice. Just Junior.
Where's Junior? They're on the corner. They're backing out.
Oh, I see. I marked them. I'm pushing.
Oh, go left. I
pushing
can be on
Junior.
left.
Yep.
If you can. Oh, they.
There's-
That was a cheeky little jump there. I thought they were gonna spin surge, and they popped in, got a bomb, and popped
I got
away.
that's 2.
Down. Where's the last 2?
Raining,
One right.
Go, push.
Got
There we
Squeezer.
go. Get the check. Get the check. Get the check.
I'm on my way.
I'm with you, Narco.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
popping this.
We can get the space.
I'm marking. I'm dead.
I'll push up.
2 are marked.
Watch up top. Up
Up top,
top.
up top.
Up top.
Got him.
Nice, nice.
Charger.
Yeah, I'm going for Charger.
Oh, there's one behind. Yeah, there was still one up
Squeezer's
top.
almost. Squeezer's low.
Eee.
They're by
Just
Rainmaker.
Careful, Narco.
Okay, I'm gonna
fall
get
back,
jumped. You
yeah.
can jump to me.
I'm jumping.
I'm back in mid.
Squeezer on the bottom left.
Yeah, here.
Squeezer dead.
Chargers up on top.
Yeah, I'm down.
Where'd they go? Oh, they're taking. What is it? Where are they going?
Charger top left rail.
Where are they
Now,
going?
where did they go with that?
I think they're trying to.
They went under
stall
their own
because
plat.
Okay, that's huge. I'm half to booyah. If we can hold that up there. Someone drop to the right.
Yeah, one
can
dropped.
someone jump-
Squeezer.
You guys want to come to me because I have a nice little flank here.
Got Squeezer.
Hi.
Nice.
Junior's low.
I have booyah bomb. But
One
I'm back
plat,
by the
one
rain. One's by the
carousel.
rain,
They're
maybe.
going
Yeah,
for
carousel.
rain. They're going for rain.
I got Junior.
I'm
Or Splat.
here.
Still Junior behind.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
My bad.
Junior's low. They're running
They're
away.
behind the
Yeah,
wall.
they're still on carousel.
They're by the carousel.
Watch out, there's
They're-
one above you.
Squeezer.
Junior went up. Junior's in mid, I think.
There's
Squeezer
someone
mid.
behind the Rainmaker and someone up top. There's two behind the Rainmaker.
Watch the go.
Oh, frick. I'm okay.
I got the back.
Nice, that's two.
Me and Squeezer traded.
That's good. That's good.
Rain weak.
I got Rain. There's one
One
other.
more.
Got another.
Nice, you got the
I'm
other.
jumping to you.
Wait. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
3 on plat.
You want me to take rain?
Yeah.
Or you-
Take it left.
or-
Take it left. The Charger's on
Got
the
it.
right. Go left.
Got it. On it.
Charger was trying to
Down,
flank.
down.
Oh, that's just me.
I went right into the junior.
Watch the carousel, Debbie.
Oh, hello.
Fall
I
back.
thought I had Booyah. Don't mind me. I thought I had it. Oh my god.
Charge
I was
pushing-
literally a sliver
Charger,
away.
push up.
Yeah, they're aggressive. They're playing aggressive.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just
Uh,
paint the path in between.
I
Let them
got.
push up to you.
I got tri-strike.
Zook the Charger, Zook the Rainmaker, one on left.
Yeah, I'm wailing. Yeah, I'm wailing
On
mid
me,
for
on
you.
me, on me, Squeezer. They dropped.
They're not at. We're good for objective right now.
I'm
him
annoyed
twice,
that
hit him
they
twice
haven't
now.
gotten any more points because I'm not getting last ditch effort.
Fine.
No.
Look how close I am to getting last ditch effort.
There's one on the right.
Minute
Charger's
left.
really low.
Yep. One under carousel. Careful. Someone
Charger
moved up
went
to the
into
right.
mid.
Charger moved up to the right.
One's on the
went
the
for
carousel,
rain.
left side.
Got Charger.
Nice.
Nice.
I almost had Booyah, and I'm gonna have to hold this.
One
till the
pushing
end of the
you,
game.
Gem.
Someone
Flank
got
on the- flank on
carousel
Debbie.
on
I
me.
say stall.
Ah.
I say stall.
Oh, that's a junior.
Nice.
Traded.
Nice.
No, gone.
They're gonna get rain.
Zuka in mid.
I'm trying to deal with that.
Yeah, I'm just painting right now. I'm still holding Booyah. Heads up.
I didn't get it.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna hold whale.
Just stall. Just stall.
Yeah, I'm just throwing bombs at this point.
Yeah.
One's
Just pick
flanking
up
right.
Rainmaker
Flanking
and
right.
retreat.
Charger down. No, not yet. They dropped though. Oh, they got
Shot's
defended.
still playing right wall.
They're going
Yeah.
left plat.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
I'm wailing that.
They're low. I'm gonna try and.
Just got the
push this.
squeezer.
Got rain.
Dang it.
He
Nice.
stops.
I forced them out.
One in court, right side.
Um.
They're
You got
Zooking.
it.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Good game.
I should probably change my gear real quick to come
Well,
back
actually,
and
we're
say
done with the Anarchy Open segment. We're going straight to the VOD reviews now.
what. Oh, that.
Good timing.
Good timing.
So, thank you so much, Narco, for stepping in and helping us out there.
No problem.
And thank you, as always, Devi.
You're welcome.
And
Oh, yeah, I can go to bed.
Are you doing the
Good night.
order of Spletz?
That's right, you're
Manik, and
European.
me?
Yeah. Decent. Alright, see you guys.
see ya.
Cheers.
Ciao.
I guess I leave as well.
Clover? No, we're VOD reviewing you.
Wait, are we going first?
I don't see why not. You're the only ones who are in the call.
Well,
Yeah.
Socially hasn't come back yet.
Oh, true. Well, Spletz is probably working or whatever they need to be doing. And then I haven't heard anything from Manik, so I don't have footage for them.
Alright.
So I guess it makes no difference whether we do Spletz at this point, since they're probably not going to be joining us here. So we can go and take care of that one first, and then see if Socially has gotten back yet.
Yep. All right. I'll just mute and just chill while you do that. And
All right, sounds good. So, what we'll do here, I actually have two codes that they've given me. I'll just pick one at random because we only have time for the one here. HF3T. Okay. Okay, occasional blade of grass. I see you. Alrighty. So I guess I might as well share screen here just so I don't forget to do it for next time. Oops, and then we go here, click the thing, and bada bing, bada boom. We move this out of the way because it's in the way. Okay. So, wait, I wonder if, does this, no it doesn't. Okay, never mind. Learning time. Okay, so we've got a Tri-Slosher here. We're playing Eeltail Zones. So Tri-Slosher is not one of the better painting weapons, which means that in a Zones comp, you're going to be hoping for a bunch of weapons that paint better than you do, which you got here, which is awesome. And it means that you're going to be playing for picks, because picks are going to be more valuable for what your weapon can do than just trying to sit there and paint the whole time. You're better served removing enemy players' paint from play because you paint less on average, and removing players from play changes things more in your team's favor than if you were to try and paint yourself. That's kind of the thought process there. That's especially how blasters work. Tri-Sloshers are a little bit better at painting, but they're still not great. So you're looking for your teammates there to be painting most of the zone there. So you want to be using the paint that your teammates put down to get sharking positions and go in and maybe sit under ledges or sit around blind corners or just like swim at people with Ninja Squid. I'm going to check in a second and see what gear we've got here. Oh, we're not running Ninja Squid. I highly, highly recommend Ninja Squid for most weapons in the game in general. Do really well with Ninja Squid, but a weapon like Tri-Slosher especially really wants the stealth. So that's something that I would prioritize in the build. Would also recommend Stealth Jump, because being able to get back to the front lines quicker is going to mean that you're going to be applying that zone control, that forward pressure sooner, and your team is going to lose less of the map while that's happening. But the other team is very short-ranged. There are a couple of brushes, which definitely not ideal, I would say, for any team comp to have two brushes. Like, I'm trying to think of a time where I would really prefer to have two brushes. I think one is usually enough for what impact it's going to have. But there are going to be a lot of sharking weapons there. The splash likes to be zippy and sharky. The brushes are going to be there. It's just really the 96 that you have to worry about in terms of range. Because everything else, except for maybe the Octobrush, you're going to be able to close in on. And like, if you can hit them, they can hit you. It's just mutually assured destruction. So what you want to be doing here is finding a spot where there's paint and they're not expecting you to be. Being out in the center here is kind of telling them, here is where I am. Avoid this spot. And they can avoid it and outrange you if they need to. So you kind of are forced to go someplace else. Painting from up here, again, your weapon is best suited to be trying to take fights, trying to shark, trying to get picks. Painting from up here, painting the zone is never necessarily a bad thing. But the problem is that if it all comes down to like you versus one other weapon on the other team painting the zone, you're probably the weapon that loses that. The other weapon probably paints more. So in the long run, like, painting the zone helps, but it doesn't help enough to undo the disadvantage you're going to have painting. Maybe if the entire rest of your team is able to make up for it, then your paint is gonna help with that, and maybe that's worth trying. But as you can see right now, it's just kind of dead even right now, and we're not pushing the needle one way or another. Now a teammate on the right-hand side has just succeeded in getting a player, getting a pick, and you see that they're there on the right. You also see that there's an opponent out in front of you. this would be a phenomenal time to drop down and take the fight on that player in front to force them away from the zone. Your teammate is there to help you with that fight. At least they were until they just got splatted a second ago. But at this point, you're a bit late to be going in and trying to push the zone. Because now the fight has already happened. And you're definitely going to get outpainted for zone if you try to paint for it right now. So the time to go for picks and make a push and get forward pressure was when there were more of your teammates for the opponents to look at, was when there were more distractions, you know. But now that you've dropped down in full view of the enemy team here as they're looking forward to try and cap the zone, they probably know where you are. They definitely know where your teammate is, who you just dropped right next to. So there's no stealth here, and this 96 is in a really dangerous position on the right because there isn't any pressure on them. If you had pushed forward with your teammate on the right-hand side over there and gone for that fight, you would probably have been able to lock out the right side zone so that your opponents can't take that right side angle and pin your teammate in there. If you're going to... Okay, so we've got an Inkjet popped here. Let's go back a second or two. So we come back up here. And this can be a good way to kind of re-engage into mid, to come over to the right-hand side where you've already got all of this painted, and they can't, like, see up over the ledge very far to be able to spot you here. Maybe the 96 sees you, but clearly they're looking over someplace else, and so this is probably unseen. You definitely do not want to fire shots right now until you're in range of an opponent, because firing shots is a very visible thing, especially with as big as your hitbox is. It might like slosh over the edge a little bit and someone might know you're there from that. So from here, being up on this area on the right, what you want to be doing is like moving forward without being visible. You don't want, like, okay, the 96 is below you and you know that, but you don't want someone with a little bit of range on the other side to be able to see you coming across here. You want to be able to just drop on people and have nobody know that you're there. So we decide to go for the Inkjet here. With the ink vac out, you're not going to be able to just Inkjet them. You need to get like behind them with the Inkjet. So if you're going for that particular target, you might want to move closer to the ledge and let them walk further forward in front before you go for this. But they're just going to be able to stop that. So unless you're trying to fill up the ink vac, which is a valid strategy, like if you fill up the ink vac quickly, it takes away its impact on the match sooner. But unless you're trying to fill it up, I wouldn't be firing my shots at that. I would be firing my shots at other opponents. Crab Tank gets an open sight line on you there. That's just kind of a tough matchup for you there, because even if you fire at them, their armor is going to tank a shot or two. So that one was kind of tough. So there, you hit one shot, and after hitting one shot, you probably want to just keep going and get the second one. But what happens here is you get scared and back away, and you get out of range. If you were to walk forward and fire one more shot, that's how you guarantee getting that pick. Now, your teammate does pick it up, which is great. But you could have gotten that one solo by just recognizing the what you needed to do to splat them. You probably do not object to being closer to most opponents. Like, I would say your default is, if you hit someone once with the slosher, keep walking, or with the tri-slosher specifically, not the other sloshers necessarily. Excuse me. Not the other sloshers necessarily. If you hit them specifically with the tri-slosher, then I would say move forward, try to get the second slosh if you can, unless there's some extenuating circumstance, like you know that they are going to get around this corner before you can get the second slosh out. That's maybe a situation where you don't go for the second one, but most of the time, just get the second one out and try and get the pick. Because most fights that you take as the Tri-Slosher, you're pretty hard committed to. There aren't as many engagements like you get with shooters, where you can dip, duck, and dive and dodge around and get behind cover and run away if the fight isn't going your way. You have such a slow fire rate, such a slow ability to paint your feet that once you're in, you're in. And so either finish it or like don't go for it in the first place is usually the way that these things go. You being in the situation to disengage there is rare. And if they had decided to keep fighting you, backing up might have actually put you in a position where they outrange you and you can't do damage to them. What's important with a fight like this, where you've got a teammate who's pushing it with you, is it doesn't matter where the opponent goes. If you and the teammate both take different directions, they don't get away. So if Abby's going left, you go right here. If you both go the same direction, what could happen is you could both go down because they're looking at the same place and they're attacking the same spot. If you go around the right here, Abby will definitely stop them from running away from you, and then you will have their back. Or if you go around the right and they decide to turn around and run away from Abby, they're running into you and you're stopping them from getting away, and Abby can shoot them in the back. But either way, going the same direction doesn't really give you that much of an advantage. And it's also possible that, like, if you had accidentally gotten in front of Abby or something like that, you could shot block each other. But always force the opponent to look in two different directions when you can. So your team does get the pick in front as well. The Toxic Mist there... maybe you can use it to, like, collect information about what's going on in front, but I think from here, it's not gonna stop someone from pushing in right now, because they're not gonna try and push in right now. But what it is gonna do is it's gonna reveal your position. As soon as someone sees the Toxic Mist go out, they know that you're the only weapon on your team that has Toxic Mist, so they know you're sharking there. You want to find a position where they don't know that you're there and not make yourself visible. You want to play more around stealth with this weapon, because it's short-ranged and it's harder to get in range of someone to splat them, but once you do, you have a very consistent splat on them. You also really like ledges, because as soon as you get an Inkjet, being right underneath a ledge is the perfect place to pop an Inkjet from. So I would, instead of trying to fight in the middle like you've been doing for so much of this game, be trying to get around blind corners, get around the edges, like be in sneaky places, and just jump out and splat people who don't see you coming. Good catch on that. The brush telegraphed where they were trying to go. You spotted it out, and you caught them before they were able to get their damage down. You heal up here. That's excellent. You get... Oh, nice substrafe there to get yourself out of range of the Inkvac shot. That was really good movement. And now you're going to be able to squid roll to the left, get past this. Or, okay, you just run forward and they don't see you. That, I would say, only works because they don't start firing at you, because you were damaged before you came around the corner. So if they took the 1v1, they should probably have won it. But it works out because they don't see you. I would say that the play there is to squid roll back across the killer whale there. Squid roll is a great tool for dealing with killer whale. It makes it so you don't take any damage from it, because it does damage slowly enough that by the time you're through it, it still hasn't broken through the armor. And it also makes it so that they have to turn around and start moving back towards you, which buys you a lot of time that you're avoiding it for. If you squid roll back across them in that situation to the left, what happens is you put yourself back behind cover, and now the opponent behind the wall hasn't actually flushed you out into their line of sight, and you're still safe. I don't think there was anybody there. So maybe you thought that there was going to be someone on that spot, and so you fired that shot at them, and now you're just like, oh, well, they're not here. I don't know what I do with this. Because that happens with an Inkjet sometimes. Sometimes, like, you pop an Inkjet, you go over the ledge, and you're like, haha, I've got you, and your teammate's like, oh, I got them already. And you're like, oh. Well, I'm here now, I guess. So maybe that was what happened there, but there wasn't anybody on the zone. if you didn't know if you didn't like think there was someone on the zone, then what I would do with this is first of all not start it from out in the open like this. This feels like something that you did on reaction, something that you're like, oh crap, there's someone right next to me, I need to pop this right away. And since there wasn't somebody there, that wasn't the case. And what's dangerous about this is that your jump is pretty exposed out there on the right-hand side. You can see an enemy player who's on the their left side, your right side, on the bridge is going to be able to see that and put a bomb on it or something. So this is risky that it's out there, that it's so visible, that it's not as hidden behind cover. One of the reasons that ledges are really nice to use Inkjet over is that you don't end up in this position here where there are a bunch of walls in between you and your opponents. Being up high lets you see over that cover, and it lets you abuse the jetpack aspect of it, of levitating up over the cover to be able to hit people. Another advantage, though, is that it is actually going to be better for hiding your jumps, because the opponents have to look way out over the ledge to be able to see it. They have to expose themselves a lot more to be able to catch your jump there. So for a number of reasons there, you want to be putting that in corners, in the kinds of spots that, you know, you would want to be sharking anyway. Brush on the top bridge there, and good, you see them. I like how you play that. You realize that you're not necessarily winning, and that you have some cover in between you and them, and it's getting a little awkward, and that if you engage for too much longer, they might get enough damage to splat you. So you just put a Toxic Mist down, use that to be able to back up, and your teammates are able to finish it off, because this opponent is in a very exposed position, and now they're stuck. So that's well played. Again, you're attacking the ink vac entirely too early if you're trying to flank it here. You need to be a good, like, past 90 degrees around it before you're going to be able to hit them in the back. It may look like they're not protected when you aim at, like, at the side of it, because it's like, there's that funnel-looking thing, that tornado-looking thing out in front of them, and they're... my shot can hit around that. That's not really where they're being protected from. If it was that narrow of a cone, this would be a really weak special weapon. But no, they're covered from in front here, and those shots are just going to be eaten. So if you're going to try and shark that, what you need to do is get a lot further behind it, and you do that by waiting for it to walk further forward before you engage. So from here, let it keep moving up, and only paint if necessary to make yourself a trail to get behind it. But even then, I wouldn't necessarily paint, because painting is going to alert it that you're here faster. I would just try to bunny hop across these little patches of green ink if I'm going to go for this player, and try to end up directly behind them. We're really close to KOing here, and it might be worthwhile to try and focus on painting at this point. Maybe if you can like draw a fight off the zone, distract them a little bit, that might be an option, but you're so close to KOing that it would be kind of a shame not to give it a try. I'm going to back up just a little bit, and we'll talk about the encounter with the brush here. So we see a whole bunch of ink falling down from right there, and then we see the player actually drop in. I guess you're expecting them to move further forward than they do. Let's take a look. So from here, they've dropped... I don't think there's a good way for me to point this out. They've dropped right in the middle of this blob of ink that's right in front of you. Right near that, like, little green spot in the midst of all of the paint. And what you want to do in a position like this, because they can't swim very far. It's not like they can swim into your ink that's further to the left here. So if you just put a shot on the center of this blob of ink, center of mass is how they tell you to aim with like an actual gun. You want to aim as close as possible to the center of them so that even if you're off by a little bit, you're still likely to hit them. Whereas here, it looks like you aim pretty close to the very front of this patch of ink. And because your shots go far enough to the left, they're able to squirm out to the right. If you'd aim to the center here, you're still going to catch them with this slosh. So I think you're maybe anticipating that they're going to try and paint their way forward and move towards your teammate Abby here. But I think you cover more of their options by painting directly at them instead of trying to paint in front of them here. It's a little bit different with a tri-slosher than it is with a shooter. And granted, that weapon was also a brush, so the idea of trying to paint in front of them to stop them from moving isn't quite the same because they can actually put the brush down and just walk through enemy ink. But with a shooter weapon, it can be a really good idea to just aim a little bit in front of where you anticipate the opponents are going to be so that you're stopping them in their tracks. With a tri-slosher, you've got such a big hitbox that you kind of just want to aim closer to them so that if they back up, the right side of your hitbox hits them. And if they move forward, the left side of your hitbox hits them. And if they stand still, the center of it hits. All right. So you recognize that you're in danger and you back your way out of it and you get out safely. And that's awesome. A lot of players would have just stayed in there and died, not recognizing that they were in trouble and not let their teammates respawn in time before they've started to stagger. So that was really, really good defensive play there and good recognition that the fight was not yours to win and you got out of there. I really like that. Nice, nice. Exactly. You spotted that there was an opponent right down over that ledge, and you're like, oh, wait, I'm a tri-slosher. I can hit that. And you hit that, and you splat them, and now you've got a pick, and your teammates have 2 specials. Actually, you have a special, and your teammate has a special, and you pop it right here. And this is a great spot to use that from. It looks like this is a set play that you've got here, using your Inkjet from up top there, especially when there's no backliner. And I like that you have a plan like that, that you have something that is biasing your movements towards being in a place where you can have a more significant impact. If there were a backliner in play, like if there's an E-leader on the other team or a Hydra, that Inkjet spot is really unsafe because it's so exposed. But I really like that spot for this game. It's getting you a lot of value. It's denying the enemy team the cover that they're trying to use on zone to keep themselves safe from you. And so you get another pick off of the bat of this. Like, you started the push in the first place by getting one. This is really positive stuff right here that's leading to your team being able to push up. And I like also that now that you're done with the Inkjet, you're able to drop down and get into more like sharking-oriented positions. Now, turning around, turning your back to the enemy team, and swimming back across the zone is probably the last thing that you want to do here. Your goal as a team right now is to put yourselves in between the enemy team and the zone so that they cannot safely approach it. Now, it might not be safe to push too far in front of the zone yet, but you definitely don't want to just give up space on the zone. Like, being back here on the zone is basically putting the game back in neutral as soon as the other team respawns. You don't want to put it in neutral. You want to have an advantage. And having an advantage means that even if you completely lose a fight, the entire team goes down 4-0. The other team wipes you guys and doesn't lose anybody. If you took that fight in front of the zone, it still takes maybe 10 or 15 ticks before they can actually get to the zone and neutralize it. So you are scoring points even in the absolute worst case scenario if you're fighting them further forward in front of the zone. And if you fight them further forward in front of the zone and it goes even, now you maintain that space in front of the zone. if you take the fight in front of the zone and you win, now you get to push even further up, and it takes them even longer to get to the zone, and you score even more even after the fight is lost. So the only reason not to push forward in front of the zone is if the position you're pushing into isn't safe, and that you're just going to be throwing your life away doing it. But there are places that you can shark further up towards the enemy base. Like, there's a pillow right in front of you. That's a great spot to hide and catch someone who's coming down the ramp. You can hide behind the box in front of you and wait for someone to show themselves. You can hide on the right side of the ramp that's directly in front of you. Or even go all the way behind that ramp and come up behind the players that are trying to get to the top left. There are a lot of options for you here that let you stay safe, but also be a threat that's in front of the zone that's stopping them from getting to it. And backing up onto the zone here, not only is it running the risk of just giving them up space and letting them get to the zone for free and capping it back, or neutralizing it at least, without any contests from you, if you die on the zone here, you paint the zone for the enemy team and actually make it easier for them to cap it. So you definitely don't want to be on the zone, and coming back and forth across the zone a lot is probably going to cause more problems, more risks than it's worth. So like, for example, if you'd been further forward, this brush, when they engage, you'd be right on top of them, and you'd be able to stop them before they get onto the zone, before they get onto your teammate. So if you shark the right-hand side, that brush doesn't get to do what they just did. But because we weren't in their way, the brush just kind of ran forward and got our teammate there. So that's not saying that you had to cover specifically the right-hand side, but it's plays like that that you will be able to stop if you push forward. But as such, they kind of just spawned back in, walked straight back to the zone, and got to play neutral again, instead of having to fight their way back into a position where they had any control over the zone at all. Alright. So now there's actually someone at our eye level here, and we're a little bit scared of them on the top left, but we find another target on the bottom right that we can engage on. The player on the top left doesn't have the range to take us out, and so we get to ignore them, and we get to take this player out, and this is a great play. I think if you wanted to, you didn't have to move to the right and fall down from that spot, and you could have actually kept shots on the player on the top left from the Inkjet while still keeping yourself at a range that they couldn't hit. So that was probably an option to you, but because you had the target on the bottom right, it still works out. I'm just thinking, if you pop the Inkjet from up there and then focus that player on the top left, get them down first, then you still probably have time to focus on the player on the bottom right, and you get more value out of it if you don't drop and deny yourself that angle on them. Ooh, and they just stay there. Well, at least your teammate traded back. That's good. I definitely agree with jumping back in. If you swim in here, it's going to take you a good 10 seconds longer. And that's more than enough time for the rest of the enemy team to get into position to force your teammates out, because they would be in a 4v3 until you got there. The enemy team is really not pushing that far forward right now. You can probably still take space further forward in front of the zone. Again, standing on zone is a risk that I'm not liking here. You're not even in a particularly hidden position here. They can definitely see that you were there on this different colored thing. And in fact, the brush drops down, seeing that you were there. The Toxic Mist is situationally useful, but the way that you're using it, you're not collecting a lot of information with it. You're not denying the opponents a lot of routes that they can use to move. And one big disadvantage of throwing a sub-weapon pretty much always, or doing anything aggressive, is it makes you a lot more visible. If you just drop into the ink and shark around, that's controlling more space than your Toxic Mist is, because as soon as you enforce that zone, as soon as you pop out and delete someone, now the opponents are like, oh shoot, there could be a tri-slosher sharking anywhere here. We need to be really careful about how we approach the zone. We can't just rush onto it. And that's an effect that really slows their team down, and makes them have to play a lot more honestly here. that player is definitely stuck. Okay, so your teammate trades this back, which is great. It looks like the brush over here, they may have run themselves into a corner thinking, like, my teammate is nearby and they'll be able to help me with this fight. So that might have been a little bit of a bait. I'd definitely be careful about peeking the corner. Something that would be really good to do there is just throw a Toxic Mist so that it's got them stuck around the corner. And they're going to run out of ink if they stay there, and eventually they're just completely defenseless. Because chasing any short-range weapon around a blind corner is always a huge risk that's almost always not worth taking. A lot of brushes love to run around a corner, then stop completely, whip around 180 degrees and just sharken the ink, wait for you to come around the corner thinking you're chasing them, and then they're like, haha, you have closed distance, and now I am in range to hit you when I wasn't before. Thank you for doing that work for me. You are splatted now. We are close to knocking out here. At this point, do not worry about much else other than painting the zone. If you paint the zone here and just keep it your color long enough for these 5 ticks to go down, the enemy team does not get to play the game anymore. Alright, definitely paint the zone now. We definitely want to be painting the zone now. We've got a 4v2 numbers advantage. We don't want to let this last any longer than it has to. Okay. We do eventually get it there. But in that situation, like, with 5 ticks left, even if you get splatted for trying, if they're fighting you, they're not painting the zone as efficiently as they could be, right? So the paint that you put down, if they splat you for it, it's not getting answered on the zone. And so the zone is going to stay your color while they're in the process of splatting you. And they're probably going to run out of time, especially with a zone this big. So just don't let it stay neutral. If it's that close to KOing, just hardcore focus on the zone unless, like, you know you're going to get outpainted. And you weren't in that position. You had a numbers advantage, and even if there's an opponent who shoots at you, who splats you, if you're off the zone, that paint isn't going towards painting the zone. That paint is going towards splatting you. And so they'll lose the game right away. So biggest things I would say here are to try and shark a little bit more, to try and play a little more stealthy with the Tri-Slosher. The Tri-Slosher can be a very aggressive weapon and can be very powerful underneath ledges and, like, around blind corners and things like that. And that's also an optimal place to be using your Inkjet from. So up on top is also a great Inkjet spot, but one thing that's really, really good about the Inkjet is its ability to rise up over a ledge and just delete someone who's up on the top of that ledge. Let me demonstrate really quickly. Yeah, okay, I understand. We could have updated the map modes a little while I was going over the replay, because that happened 25 minutes ago, but cool, thank you. All right, so Tri-Slosher. Inkjet. Inkjet, Inkjet. All right. So let's say, and this is a little bit on the low side for the kind of ledge that you would hop over, but let's say there's a player up above me here that doesn't know I'm here. Now, not only have I immediately gotten value out of it by splatting someone before they could do anything about it, and not only was this a really easy shot because I'm that close to them, but on top of all of that, I am now higher up than I started with the Inkjet, and so I'm going to be able to use that extra height to find other people, like this player here, and get shots on them right away, because they can't hide behind cover anymore. You know, this player, if I'm way back here, is pretty inaccessible, and even if I were to Inkjet from here, I wouldn't have the height to hit them. So we'll slosh. But, so, if I just Inkjet from here, I can maybe hop up over the edge. Okay, I can actually hit that from there, but it takes a little setup. But it's a lot easier for me to get those shots if I started from right underneath a ledge and then used that ledge that I climbed up with the Inkjet to get up and be able to hit that. So, consider, you know, the spot that you were picking for Inkjets is great when you can get up there conveniently, but don't just, like, you know, be like, oh, wait, I need to get up to use my Inkjet, so I'm going to go all the way up here, and then I'm going to come all the way around, and now I can use the Inkjet, you know? Know a couple of other spots that you can use from on the ground when you're a little further forward, so you can be like, okay, this is a good Inkjet spot, because I can get up over the top of this and hit someone from back here. Or I can, you know, use this to get enough height to get a shot on that player, you know. So, those are some ideas with Inkjets. Overall, yeah, like I was saying, play a little bit more on the stealthy side. Look for those Inkjet spots underneath ledges, and look for those sharks underneath ledges. Push forward in front of the zone instead of trying to fight them on the zone, from the zone. Because again, the further in front of the zone you push, the further towards the zone they have to get to be able to cap it again. And the longer your team is able to hold it, even if you lose a fight. Oh, also, when you have a teammate taking a fight with you, make sure you're taking an off angle from them so that the opponents can't look at both of you at the same time, that they can't get away. It has a lot of advantages. All right. So thank you, Spletz, for giving us your footage to look over. I'm going to check my messages here. I still don't have anything from Manik, unfortunately. So, Clover, are you around? Let's see. Yes, Clover's here.
Hello.
Hello. And there's Socially Awkward in the waiting room.
Yep.
All right. We have been joined now by Socially Awkward, and I'm going to turn their volume down just a little bit. So Clover and Socially are both in here at the same time for this one, because they were both in this VOD. They were playing together in Anarchy Open. So I'm going to scroll up here and... Oh, no, I don't need to scroll up because I already have their replay code downloaded. So I'm going to get over to the computer and get started.
The Discord stream is like super low res, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's... Unfortunately, that's the best we're going to get. So because it's kind of between that and having it be in real time versus it being on stream and having stream delay. There's only so much that we can do with that. Wait, hold on. Let me test one thing. Did that improve it?
Yes, that proved it way better.
Interesting. Okay. I know why that happened. That's weird. And it's not being blocked right now, right?
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
Right.
That is good information for me to know. And hello, Socially Awkward. I heard a little bit of something out of you. There you go.
I was asking if I could unmute myself now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. This is not the correct replay code.
Yeah.
That was the one I was looking at before.
Just Socially, if you want to, like your parents ask you for anything, then just mute yourself before you do that.
Okay.
It's just that their family got back home.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, if you have any questions about my gear, it was very temporary.
Oh, yeah, no
Okay.
worries. I usually don't look at the gear. So, okay. Having a look at the comps here. So, you're playing the Shot and the Nautilus. This is a fairly balanced comp, I would say. You've got some frontline pressure in especially the splatter shot, but the Nautilus can play up pretty close there and provide slaying support. You've got a support on the Reflux, which is going to be able to provide paint for you guys and is going to give you missile output. And you've got an E-leader in the back line. It's maybe a little on the passive side. You're going to be waiting on the Reflux in all likelihood to fire off missiles before you want to be going in, because there isn't anyone who can disengage super well on this comp. It's not like you've got dualies who can dodge roll away. It's not like you've got like a umbrella that can shield itself or a 52 with a splash wall. Once you're in a fight with these weapons, you're kind of stuck in that fight. So it's when you commit, you're going to be hard committing, and you want to commit with all of the resources that you have available to you. So,
Yeah, because 3 of the 4 are very aggressive
on
the enemy team.
then on the other team, oh goodness, that's so many missiles. I am so sorry.
Yeah, we were not happy with this.
So Reflux and Flingza, both of which are missile spamming weapons. Then on top of that, you're dealing with a Brush who's going to be running around, but doesn't have a lot of places to run around on this map. I think this is a pretty weak Brush map, in my opinion, because it doesn't have any flank routes to take. So that should be pretty predictable where it's going to show up most of the time. It's going to have a hard time pushing through mid, especially with an E-leader watching. And then there is a Dualies. And the Dualies are going to have Crab Tank, which you want to watch out for. That's one of the more powerful specials. It holds down ground for a long time. But they're also going to be able to traverse enemy ink, which is going to be really valuable in a map where it's so difficult to get through mid here. So let's see how this goes. All right. Moving our way forward, and we spot some players on the other side here, and we're not quite in range to be able to hit them. I would say that this is an okay spot to take, like, if the opponents are pushed up, if you're on defense. On offense, you might want to be a little bit further forward, because you can see you can't really hit anything that's coming across the bridge here. And you're only painting about half of the zone, whereas let's say that you're right on that truck's headlight, right up in front of you. You can right side peek and hit around it on everything on the zone. You can also hit the bridge. And the only thing you have to worry about is someone making a relatively predictable flank on the left. And you've got someone behind you who could potentially be watching that too. So I would probably want to get a little bit further forward, but you do have to play a little bit more conservatively on a Nautilus than you would on, say, a splatter shot, just because you have to charge before you can fire. I'm very worried for you right now because there's been someone on the bridge who's been looking at you. They threw a bomb at you, and you haven't looked back at them, and you've been focused on these players in front of you. I anticipate that that player is going to... Okay, yeah, the flings that you can see on the far left-hand side, they're in range to hit you with this vertical flick. And so even if you don't go down to the players in front of you here, that player is going to lock you in place, and you're going to be stuck. So you needed to be backing away from this danger earlier to be able to survive. Even if not just because of the opponents in front of you, but because of the one to the side of you that was threatening you from that direction.
Yeah.
Like, you see them over there on the left, and you know that one of them is a Flingza, so they're pretty close to being in range of you, and that's probably your primary concern. These players up in front of you, if you just stay far back enough on the truck, they're not going to be able to hit up over the top, especially without something like an Explo or a sloshing machine or a blaster. They don't have any kind of range, and they don't have a great ability to hit up over ledges, except for the Flingza, and we know the Flingza's on the left. So if you just back up from here, you're not in a fight with two people at once, you're in a fight with one player at once.
Is the Reflux not able to hit well over heights?
It can, in theory, hit up over the top of that, but it's going to be a pretty blind shot. Because they're going to have to aim that really high up in the air for it to arc down and hit you. It's not like an Explo where that's just kind of its normal arc and it's probably going to hit you. They have to hit pretty up high and have to guess pretty well where you're at. It's a much more precise aiming task than it is for the Explo.
Yeah.
Plus, they don't even focus on you. Like, they're not even trying to shoot at you here. It's just the dualies. So that ends up being a moot point.
Good shot on the dualies, though.
Yeah, you've been pretty far out in front of them, and they know that you're trying to aim there. I don't think they're actually even dodge rolling. They're using dual reticle mode, so they're more likely to hit you with over time if they keep aiming at you, because the shots go right, left. So I would say that those are actually relatively easy shots for them to hit, because you're so far forward and you're so visible to them. Backing up further on the truck denies them the ability to even see you, let alone be able to hit you easily. That's an interesting visual glitch. The zone isn't showing it's capped, even though the time is ticking down. It looks like it's neutralized from here, even though it's not. Okay, what happens here? Oh, wait, that was so confusing. So the map is actually reversed from what it would look like for you. I was like,
okay.
Where are you jumping to? Okay, you're jumping there. Looking at the map, which is something that you should always do while you're... Is it going to be able to freeze on the map screen? No, it's not. That's so annoying. Let's... Oh, I know what I can do. I can back it up a second and give us the overhead view. That'll work. Okay. So you have just respawned, and this is the situation you're looking at to jump into. Noob down there is in a little bit of their ink, but you can see that there's a bunch of yellow ink around, and if you look closely enough at the map, you will definitely see the reflux putting that paint down. So you're jumping into a player who is in a fight right now. They're definitely being directly contested by the reflux, and so jumping into this position could very well just end you up in that sort of state. This is especially dangerous because the E-liter is not a great close quarters weapon, and so them being able to protect you is unlikely. By the way, thank you so much for the raid, Undershirt Man. Undershirt Man is another Splatoon streamer. Does a whole bunch of different weapons. Just like, I think they're going on a challenge to get like a certain number of badges on every weapon or something like that. Or was it that they were like winning a game on each weapon before moving on to the next one? So definitely a very experienced player who can give you a broad array of knowledge on all the different weapons. So definitely go check him out. I'd like to get every badge in the game. That'll take forever though. Thank you, Undershirt Man. So we're VOD reviewing Clover and Socially Awkward here. Socially is the splatter shot, and then Clover is the Nautilus, who just went down on the bottom right, and we were talking about the jump spot here and how to choose who to jump to. Like we talked about in the super jump quiz, one of those things that you're looking for is enemy paint, and especially enemy paint that has just gone down recently, because that means that there's still a player in that position. If you can see that your teammates are fighting, definitely look out for jumping to them. It's probably not going to be safe. It's kind of a coin flip which one of them ends up on top. Jumping to Socially here would be a lot more safe because they're up above a ledge, and so that's more difficult for the other player to be able to hit. And that's, if anything, closer to the front lines, and it gives you more information before you go in.
I'm trying to remember if I had earlier was trying to jump to Socially, but accidentally jumped to Noob. I don't remember if that was the case or not.
Yeah, that would make sense. They were pretty close to each other, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Especially when you're trying to use the D-pad.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get back to you. So, team goes down one by one, and ooh, this is really risky. So, let's back it up just a second or two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this view. Look at where you are. Look at where your color paint is. Look at where the enemy paint is.
Yeah.
So your team has just gone like 2 or 3 down. A lot of them have just gotten splatted. You're staggered a little bit. So you definitely want to be playing safe right now. And instead of, taking that information and going, we're probably not going to have numbers. We're probably not going to have the paint. We kind of run out here. and I don't anticipate that this is going to go super well. Okay, we end up trading. So let me go back and look at the micro behind the fight with the dualies there. So one thing that I'm not a fan of about this engagement is that you don't need to get close to the dualies to hit them. You outrange them. You should be making them come to you instead of rushing forward at them. So you can stay further back on the bridge here, and I imagine since you have some run speed, you'd be able to use your range to kite them a little bit.
I don't think I do, actually. Do you want to double check the map? Or the...
Yeah, we'll take a quick look. It's not on a main anyway.
Yeah.
That's not to say that it's not on any of the subs, but a lot of Nautilus players run at least a little bit of run speed because...
But mostly they run swim speed because they want to get into position with the charge hold, yeah?
They're both valuable because you will be spending more time than most weapons walking because of being a splatling. While you're firing, for example, you are going to be able to walk. And so being able to walk a little bit faster is going to be better for you. It also, it makes it so that holding from a position like on top of grates is really good for you. That's something that like a lot of, especially the longer range splatlings like to do. They like to stand on grates because they're going to have the run speed anyway. And from there, they have this like height advantage where they can see everything and nothing's going to block their shots. But setting up from like right here and shooting in front of where the dualies wants to go is probably enough to be hitting them. And that way, if they want to get to you and to be able to be in range, they'd have to roll towards you. And that's time that they're spending not shooting, that you are spending shooting at them. So that's still going to be advantageous.
Yeah.
But you give up your range advantage, and they do end up messing up by getting on the other side of this wall here. They probably could have just
dodge roll. They dodge rolled off the ledge.
Yeah, they probably could have had the fight there, but because they messed up their movement and ended up falling off, you got away with it. But again here, you're now damaged a significant amount, probably like at least 50 or so. And you don't have any paint at your feet to be able to heal in, and you're firing more shots. Firing these shots is kind of inviting an engagement, and you probably don't want to be taking an engagement right now. Because you're already damaged, and it's not going to take them as much damage to be able to splat you. Normally, I like your fight against the Reflux because you have a faster kill time. But when their kill time is cut in half by the fact that you're damaged this much, they might just hit like a single tap shot that like 2 of those hit you or something, and you go down.
Yeah.
All right, so your E-leader gets a pick, and the brush goes down. So now we're at enough of an advantage we should be able to cap the zone here. We want to be working with our teammates to get that. Nice. And the Reflux comes in clutch here. Being able to paint as much as it does is able to just cap the zone for you there. We're in an awkward spot right now where we're kind of stuck on the zone here. We want to, whenever we're going to move forward in zones, we want to know that it is safe to move all the way across the zone and get off the zone on the other side. The zone is a no man's land.
You're saying that if you get splatted in the zone,
right. So you don't want to be splatted on the zone, but the zone is also just what everyone is looking at, and there's not a lot of cover here. So not only, you know, is it bad to go down, worse to go down on the zone than it is to go down anywhere else, it's also, you're more likely to go down on the zone than you are to go down anywhere else.
Yeah, and this is one of the many maps that are not really good being in zone. I think ETIL is like a more acceptable place to be in zone with the cover it has, but
yeah,
this one's
sure.
not.
Like, Eeltail, you kind of have to play on the zone sometimes to get around, but here, like, what you want to end up doing is you want to get across the zone and have a target position in mind that you want to hold from. Some place that keeps you safe from most weapons and requires you to only watch certain angles to be safe. Because from there, you're going to be able to actually lock the enemy team further back. And then once you get some more picks after that initial push that was successful, you're going to be able to go across the left bridge and get onto their plat and really start locking them out then. And from there, you're going to be able to stop every single option from all the way up on the plat that they're trying to spawn into. So that's your goal. Like, it's a 1-2 punch of get in front of the zone with the first successful push, and then once you've gotten in front of the zone and you get another fight win from, you know, sharking people or whatever else you need to do to get there, you get up on the left truck and you get across and you start locking out from there. I like that rain. That's going to make it really awkward for them.
Yeah, I just wanted to get them to, like, god dang it. That's what I was trying to go for, just trying to move them around.
You're throwing it in a place that they are incentivized to be. You're throwing it in a place where they're relatively safe, they have a good amount of cover, and you're kind of flushing them out of that. You're pushing them into spaces where your teammates can see them. So you end up getting one basically for free from that. Yep. And I don't know if you did this on purpose or not earlier, but it was smart if you did to use the bridge above you to block the missiles. Because they will not go through grates. So
yeah, I didn't even notice that I was getting targeted by missiles, so...
Yeah, if you're just if you're targeted by missiles and then you just run them under the bridge, the missiles won't, you know, do anywhere near as much damage, nor will they paint nearly as much. Let's back it up a little bit. Okay, didn't back it up far enough.
I'm assuming you're gonna say that I was in a very exposed position.
So from here, I'm cool with you backing up. What we want you to be doing here is getting into a position to paint the zone. Retreating across zone is a very passive thing to do. And one issue of it is that you're turning your back to the enemy team. Another issue of it is that you're turning your back to the zone. So you're denying yourself a lot of information by doing this. Yeah. Even now, like, you're spending more time turning yourself around than you need to. And we could have been spending a little bit more of that time keeping the zone painted. We are a little bit more exposed than we need to be from here, although it does look like our... Okay.
I think
so you've played
like really low.
You've played the fight really well for the last like 4 flings of flicks. Because what's happening is there are 2 players that are fighting this flings at the same time. There's you and the reflex. So while the flingza is looking at the reflex here, you're targeting them and getting free damage. And that's awesome. Then they start to turn and fire at you, and the first flick misses. So it totally makes sense for you to be continuing to fire. But after that first flick misses and you realize, okay, wait, that could have been in range, that could have hit me. Now you want to start backing up because you don't have an advantage anymore. And if you try to get any closer, you probably just get splatted by this bomb or something. Yeah, I think that's what happened. It's either that or the crab tank. Yeah, it was the bomb. So the problem there is that as they moved, they took the reflex completely out of the fight. They moved to an angle that the reflex wasn't going to be able to hit them. So it became a 1v1.
Our reflex?
Yes, your reflex.
Okay, cool.
They moved to a position where your reflex couldn't help. And because of that, it turns into a 1v1. One where you're having trouble hitting your shots and they have a really big hitbox. Thank you so much for the raid, girl boss. Welcome to our stream. Keep on girl bossing and yeah. And what was it? Gaslight Gatekeep girl boss? Yeah, you go. No. Howdy. You get... All right. You get the I completely short-circuited there. The bomb gets you, and then we're 3v3. And let's watch a little bit of this just from the perspective of the overhead.
I'm assuming after your the match finishes, you're then going to replay it with the view socially, yeah?
We could probably do that. I was thinking of maybe just trying to watch the rest of this from the overhead view and commenting on you both at the same time. Because we usually only do 2 VOD reviews, and doing 3 in one day is going to push it a little bit on the later side. But we'll see, and we might go back and take a look at more. It's just... were you guys on comms while this was happening?
Yeah, but we weren't talking about
talking about the game.
stuff
Okay,
that much. We were just
Gotcha.
talking about general stuff.
does Gem is Woody Toy Story? Yes. My God, the syntax threw me way off there. Cool. So okay. So in the meantime, every fight goes really well. Back up and watch why. So socially, it looks like he's on ground level, just kind of painting up. The Reflux decides to chase socially forward, and that is not a fight that a Reflux wins. You're jumping into the E-Leader here. And again, the E-Leader is not a weapon that's going to be able to protect your jump super well, and right now they're in a pretty dangerous position. Your E-Leader was just kind of taking a lot of positions where they're getting into these short-range engagements, and maybe that's not great for them.
I mean, their name is Noob Noob.
Fair,
No
fair.
Hate. No hate.
Is your name really Gem? That's my tag that I go for. On a similar note, has Gem ever really went far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? Yes, I have. Sorry, wrong syntax. Yes, I be. There we go.
Yeah, r
Sin-
slash I had a stroke.
But the nice thing here is that when you jump in, you're able to do enough damage to the brush that Noob is able to clean it up. And now,
Is that Noob Noob's kill, or is that my kill? I don't know.
it looks like you go down before the brush does. Let me double check.
Yeah, and view it from my perspective. Oh, we killed
Okay.
the Shire, yeah.
But basically, what's effectively happening there is you're adding damage so that the E-Leader can trade it back. You end up getting the kill credit, but it was only for their tap shots, I think, that you were able to get that out in time.
Yeah.
So, okay. So while that isn't the jump that I would have gone for, and your team probably could have collapsed on that without you jumping in on it, like socially probably could have come and helped with that if that fight kept going. You get a wipe, which is awesome. You know, wipe for one player is not a bad trade at all. And now we want to be getting further forward. Socially, I want you, like, really far up already. I want you, like, underneath their bridge or over on the far right side by this pillow. You don't want to be in somewhere that's exposed, so you don't want to be taking, like, left truck here, because being on top of the truck doesn't give you a lot of cover until you're all the way across over the bridge and behind that pillow in front of you or something. And you probably don't have time to get that far yet. But you do have the space to get out in front of the zone, and you as a frontline weapon, your job is to get in between them and the zone and push them back, and to always be the player that they have to run into before they can do anything.
Yeah, I think they would
Okay,
have enough. They would have enough time to get the truck because I can see 3 of them already back in. Yep, they're all back in now. So they probably wouldn't have been able to get there in time.
Usually
They wouldn't have been able. So I'm not saying to get onto the truck. I'm saying, like, you go for the truck after the next fight you win, but you need to be up in front of the zone, and that is absolutely you definitely could have gotten onto the truck and been there as they come in. That's just not an advantageous position for you to take because you're a splatter
I think
shot.
Socially's more like a support kind of player.
Okay.
Yeah.
As such, okay, so let's take a look at the team comp that we've got right now for a second, and like talk about what these weapons, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and like how we can look at those. So you've got your E-Leader, who is going to be really far back, and you know obviously E-Leader is great to have. You just get a small random number of picks at random throughout the fight because somebody peeked the wrong way. They deny a lot of space for the enemy team so that they have to push in at certain angles. It's really, really obnoxious to deal with, and it's great to have. But something that an E-Leader isn't good at doing is pushing forward, as we have seen when we've tried to jump into their positions and realized that they are not safe. So we've bailed the E-Leader out of a couple of those kinds of frontline engagements so far, but they really want to be standing further back so that they can use their range to maximum effect. So they're not a weapon that's going to stand out in front of the zone because they're not going to have an advantage there. Any frontline weapon that gets to the ledge is going to be able to just drop directly onto the E-Leader and already be in range of them if they push up to one of those ledges or something. So the E-Leader doesn't want to take a position where they're exposing themselves before they can have line of sight and see people. And they're also not going to want to put themselves in a place where they can be attacked before they get their charge ready to go. So they're going to stay further back. So they're not a pushing weapon. They're not a weapon that can get in between the enemy team and the zone. Next, we've got the Reflux. The Reflux is definitely best at supporting by far. I have yet to see somebody pop off so hard with the main weapon that I'm convinced that it can slay super well. Its sub-weapon isn't really helping it that much with poking or with doing chip damage to follow up with its own attacks with.
What is it again? Reflux sub?
Curling bomb.
Ah, yeah, thank you.
So it'll be able to move kind of quickly, but it's not going to be able to do as much when it gets there. Its best option at short range is like tap shots, and they're kind of finicky tap shots that have holes in the hitboxes, so you have to aim them pretty carefully. And they're not super fast. I think you need 3 shots, and they come out way, way slower than like a splatter shot does. So they're going to try and stay further back, and they're going to be trying to paint the zone primarily. And they are by far the best painting weapon in the game. They paint more than anything else ever has in Splatoon.
And Nintendo gave them tender missiles because they're cruel.
True. And so they're going to be able to have an impact from further back because they can just farm for tender missiles. They're also going to be able to paint the zone better than any other weapon in the game. So they are already playing the support role, and they're more locked into playing the support role. That's kind of what they need to do because the other things they're worse at doing. So that leaves our Nautilus and our Splattershot to be pushing up and getting in between the enemy team and the zone, because that is an important thing to do. If we don't do that, then yes, the Reflux can paint a lot and the E-Leader can get picks and whatnot, but they don't get to move forward into more aggressive positions because they're slow at pushing, and it's a bigger risk for them to put themselves in those places. They need somebody else to go out in front of them and lead the way and get those opponents pushed back far enough, and then a weapon like a support and an anchor can kind of ratchet their way up. They can lock the front line's position in by supporting them from behind them. Well, we've got a Nautilus, and Nautilus, while it is a very strong slaying weapon and will play up closer to the front lines, it can't disengage very quickly. Once it's in a fight, it's very committed to one of those fights. And so it's looking more for someone to initiate for it so that it can then follow up on the front line and get that pick. And so that really only leaves in this comp for the Splattershot to be doing the initiating, for the Splattershot to be pushing forward and getting up in the way. It is a weapon that can do that. It's a weapon that plays at short range, has a very, very fast kill time. It's a weapon that can disengage quickly by painting its own feet because shooters are uniquely able to do that better than most other weapons in the game. And that's one of the reasons that shooters have been meta for such a long time in Splatoon, just that they're fast and they're maneuverable, and they paint a lot too. So if not the Splattershot to push up, we look at this team and we go, well, then who? And what it's looking like is going to happen is, even though we've had a good 5 seconds at least, I think, since this wipe happened. Let's take a look at exactly when it happens. So it happens right here, 2:58. So we go 2:58, and then time is ticking down.
2:51 is when they all get back, and no one's pushed up.
Yeah. So it has been a full 10 seconds, and nobody on our team has moved past where we already were. Like, we already had someone on right truck. Now we're just all on right truck. If the enemy team comes back into this situation, they just get to go straight to the zone, and there's nothing stopping them that wasn't stopping them before. Whereas if we had put a couple people up in positions like right underneath the ledge that they're about to drop over, if we had put someone behind the pillow to the right of the drop that they're about to go over, you see the orange one right there. If we put someone on that position, then we could make them, you know, if they drop over, then they just get splatted. But even if they try to paint this up, they see, oh shoot, there's somebody here, I can't move forward, and that slows them down. But I anticipate, based on the way this is going, that they're just going to be able to... Okay, I do like the idea to use the Trizuka, I will say. We can definitely use that from further forward, because we had 10 seconds. So instead of swimming up to the right truck...
And if you notice right where they are, I threw a marker, and that just helps the general team. Even if we're in comms, it still makes it harder for them to get away and hide.
Yeah, so going back to the Trizuka, the Trizuka could be triggered from left truck. You definitely have time. And I'm not saying you go up to the right truck, go across the bridge, and end up on the left truck. I'm saying just swim across the zone, paint the wall on the left truck, and get up on top of it. And all 4 of them just dropped onto this plat here, right? As soon as someone drops over that ledge, they're stuck falling until they hit the ground. You can just put a Trizuka shot on where they hit the ground, and that's a pretty guaranteed shot to take. And so that's going to be a little bit easier than hitting the shots from where you do fire the shots from. You do end up hitting someone anyway because they're really clustered up, and so this is good timing for using this. But look at where Hello is right now. There's really nobody stopping Hello from being here except maybe the E-Leader. But the E-Leader has to hit a clutch shot to be able to stop them from being there. And now, because Hello got up there and the E-Leader was forced to move away, now their reflux is able to get on the zone. All of this is something that you can prevent if you have someone further forward. And finally, now that we have Clover up here, there is actually someone to stop them from being in that position. But Clover got there, like, after the wipe happened, and we kind of want to be setting up in those positions more aggressively, more quickly, because sometimes it won't be as clean of a wipe and you won't have a full 10 seconds. Sometimes you'll have a slower wipe, like the first player goes down and then it takes a good 5 or 6 seconds before you get the last player down, and the first player is coming up soon already. So we want to be moving up as a squad, as a front line together, so that, you know, one of you is ready to help the other as you get up there, and so that you're denying them access to this right side of the map where they could have gone and got more paint on the zone sooner if it hadn't been for a couple of well-timed picks. So they end up going down, and they do drop to the right and take out the reflux here. So Socially is now taking a look at this brush. We want to be careful here because we're effectively 2 down right now. It's just the E-Leader has just gone down, so it's just Socially and Clover, and they're a little bit split. So if I'm Socially there and the brush is closing in like that, and I look around and like, oh, my only other teammate is way over on the other side of the map right now, instead of going back up onto the right truck here, I would probably have squid rolled back through the grate. Do you know the movement I'm talking about? I've shown this in a couple of videos. Where you squid roll off the back wall.
Yeah, I don't use it very much, but I do know how to do it.
Gotcha, okay. So I probably would have gone for that to try and retreat and get away from the brush so they can't just like run me into the corner here. Because if, let's say the Flingza gets onto the zone here and starts attacking left truck, now I don't have any escape. because the brush is closing off my way into mid. The roller is making truck unsafe to stand on. And if I drop over to be with Clover, hello, the dapples, or sorry, not the dapples, the dualies over there are going to be shooting at me at the same time, and that's going to be a little bit risky too. Plus, the roller could see that I'm going that way and just rotate to the left and make it a 2v2. So we probably don't want to stay in this. We end up getting the brush, and that's a lot of shots that the brush is firing and missing. I'm looking at them like swing. So that is definitely a situation where I think the brush could have fought that a lot better. And you're outplaying them mechanically, which, you know, that's a good thing that you're outplaying them mechanically, that you're aiming better than they are. But also bear in mind that that wasn't a winning fight, that was a fight where you had to outplay mechanically in order to be able to win it.
Okay.
So the missiles are coming out, and we're just kind of working to dodge the missiles. That does really isolate our reflex a lot. The dualies actually go and get our E-leader. And that's something, let me take a look at that fight from Socially's perspective really quick, because I think that Socially might have had information there that they were not using to help them survive. So, okay, I need to go further back than this, my bad.
All good.
Oh yeah, that the brush is like aiming at the ground. That looks like stick aim brush to me. With how slowly they're moving from down to up to reach you. So yeah, we luck out there a little bit. So the missiles go off, and then we pop up over the top. We see there was a splash in the ink to the left of you on the truck that caught my eye just now. And then a teammate goes down over there, which to me is, oh my god, wait, what's going on over there? Because that's further back than I am. So there were a couple of hints there. There was a splash in the yellow ink. There was a teammate who went down. You can hear that audio cue of them going down. So that is something that is happening, you know, further back than I am. That's bad, and that means that I need to pay attention to it because someone's further forward on the objective line than I think they are. Let's back up here. How did Clover end up over there? Has Clover just been there the whole time?
I jumped over to Socially during that time when you were talking.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know that there was someone in our base either, so that's what happened.
So Clover's going to get 2v1'd here, and they're going to go down. In a position like that where you're at a numbers disadvantage, consider just, like, retreating even more. Because, like, let's say you retreat all the way back to the furthest you can possibly go to the upper left. If two of them are chasing you, they're kind of wasting their time.
Either they chase me and it becomes a 3v1 or 2v2 in, or 2v1 actually in mid, or they fall off. I can get a chance to breathe, and I can also push them back when they forget about me. Right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And if you back up and they keep chasing you, you can always just super jump out. And now they're like, well, that was a tremendous waste of time. So that's probably what I would think to do there. So you jump into Socially. Now, there might have been information that you had here that this dualies is in place. Because, like, look at how much yellow ink there is around them. And there was probably some yellow ink. I can't tell you the exact timing because I can't see your map checks. So I can't see, like, when you're looking at the map and what your map looked like at the time. But you would probably have seen at least some yellow ink going down around where your E-leader is. And that might have clued you in that jumping into Socially here is putting you in a certain amount of danger as well. Because now you're going to get forced out and you're going to get collapsed on. So when your team is down, and especially when the enemy has a lot of paint control around the options you have to jump, you want to be playing more conservatively and trying to push in as a full team instead of going in to try and save the one remaining player who's in a 1v3 right now. Whole bunch of missiles. Socially is dropping off a ledge into enemy ink. And that is typically what happens when you drop off a ledge into enemy ink. if you're going to drop off a ledge, you always want to be thinking about, first of all, is there my color ink below me? Second of all, is it possible that there is someone sharking underneath this ledge? And you want to be thinking about that before you even approach it, because like weapons like a roller, for example, if the flings of roller happen to be sitting under there, you're going to get hit before you even get over the top. And the brush would be pretty dangerous from there too. So those are both things that you want to be thinking about. But like, I am about to swim off a ledge is like an alarm bell that should be ringing in every Splatoon player's head, so that they make sure that like, wait, are you sure you want to do this? It's like you're being asked if are you sure you want to close without saving? That's a thing that you might want to do, but it also is a thing you might not want to do. Like, let's think about that for a second. So socially does go down there, but we're 2 for 2 at this point, and we're starting to be able to actually outpaint here because their reflux isn't up. Now the reflux is up, and now the painting war is probably hopeless. And again, our E-leader is taking this bottom left position that is just getting them flanked every time.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
They're just going to get tap-shotted by the reflux here every time, and they're going to go down for that. You do trade back, which is awesome. And taking out the reflux...
I'm looking at the ink brush right now as well.
Yes. And taking out the reflux is really valuable to your team because they're a better painter than anyone else. So with them gone, you know, if you're in a 2v2 but you've got a reflux and the other team doesn't, you're going to be able to cap the zone with that. So that's, you can think of them as like the objective player. They're like the tower rider, but not exposed to the enemy team as conspicuously. If you can keep them alive, then you can at least stall the zone.
Louise has to fall back. Don't know what the booyah was for.
So the dualies isn't falling completely back, and this is another position where if we had people pushing forward further, we might be able to just get the dualies. Like, they're by themselves. Yeah. We've got all of our members up here. If we push forward, we're at an advantageous fight against them, and if we get them, which we're more likely to do, then the enemy team is staggered, because now they're coming into a 3v4 instead of a 4v4. So that lack of forward pressure in front of the zone when you cap is, again, going to probably come back to bite you here, because they are going to get another opportunity to try and neutralize the zone before you're through your penalty. And the flank comes in from hello. Are they going to be able to get anything? They do pop crab tank, but you guys get 2 in the meantime. So this actually will probably lead to you... Oh, they're not using it to paint the zone either. So yeah, they're probably not going to get enough out of this crab tank to neutralize it.
I do not know how I survived going against the crab tank there.
Yeah,
just, like, hiding in the ink there or something. I don't know.
It's not a bad idea outright to like at least get its attention on the right. Yeah, maybe you don't want to be quite out there in the open as much, but something that they probably want to think to do with the crab tank is paint the zone. And if you're taking their paint off the zone, then they're not accomplishing as much as they probably could. The E-leader is also going to be able to get shots on them if they're not looking at the E-leader. And we're able to get 2. I do like this position that Clover is taking here on the right, because they're not ever coming out the right. They're not ever trying to flush that out. They're always running straight to the zone, and so you always have an off angle on them. As soon as someone starts dropping to their left, your right, Clover is in trouble there. But until that happens, this is a really good off angle for them to take. Now, if socially we're up a little bit further to the left, if they were maybe around the left truck area and they were sharking underneath that ledge, now not only does Clover have that angle on them, but socially is there to support those fights. And I think that there's going to be a little bit more that socially is going to be able to do from further forward that way than if they're further back on the zone. Because they do have the reflex to be painting here. So it's going to be a little bit more helpful to be playing more of the frontline role there. And that's something that, like, even a junior will do. Like, Splattershot Junior is fundamentally a support weapon. But even junior players will, you know, noticing, oh, I'm the only weapon that's like short-ranged on my team that's going to be able to push up into these dangerous positions. They might try to shark instead of just like throwing bombs or staying behind the zone. They might get up in there and maybe pop a big bubbler and say, hey, if you want to get to the zone, you got to go through me and my bubble. So I think it's, even if your idea of your play style is that you are a support, first and foremost, I would say that your skill set should still include pushing up aggressively and being able to take fights. Because that's something that even supports have to do sometimes.
And alternatively, you could also do something like NZAP or other support weapons that are more comfortable with playing support, you know?
Like,
Splatter Shot's more of like a...
It's not that the Splatter Shot is even necessarily bad at that role. Like, the Splatter Shot can totally paint and spam bombs. You run LDE on a Splatter Shot, and you can just, like, chuck suction bombs all day long, and you still paint really well. Like, it's not bad at that. But the Splatter Shot's greatest strengths, the way that it tends to be used in competitive play, include the fact that it has high accuracy and a very, very fast time to kill. And if you're considering a support weapon, you want something that paints as well as possible, and the Splatter Shot paints a little bit worse than something like an NZAP, and especially something like a Junior or a Splash-O-Matic. This NZAP is putting down the similar line of paint, but it's putting it down faster than the Splatter Shot could. And then the Junior is just gonna oops, nope, not that. Hold on, please hold. There we go. Okay. And like the Splatter Shot Junior is just gonna put down paint like there's no tomorrow because it's got a faster fire rate.
And a bigger tank.
Bigger ink tank. You can throw another thing that you can do with the Splatter Shot is you can throw a bomb and then paint, and you're not going to run out of ink by doing that. So you can have an impact on a fight far away and then paint a bunch. Whereas the Splatter Shot, they throw a suction bomb, and then they paint a little bit, and then they're out of ink and they have to sit here for a second. So those are some advantages if you're interested in the support role that other weapons will have over it. And that's not to say that you can't play the Splatter Shot somewhat supportive. Like, I've gone on record saying that the Splatter Shot is more similar in this game to the Kensa Splatter Shot from Splatoon 2, which was a sort of hybrid Slayer support, than it is the T-Tech, which was the much more aggro weapon. But I would say that the Splatoon 3 Splatter Shot is still more aggressive than the Kensa Splatter Shot because instead of having missiles, you got this guy. This guy is all about getting kills. And it's something that you have to position more carefully than missiles do, so you can't get as much out of just spamming paint and then getting the missiles and then firing it off as quickly as possible, because you have to be in position for this to work. With missiles, you don't care where you're at as long as you're far enough back that you're not going to die. But with this thing, you have to find the right angles to be able to hit it. And so that means that you're not going to have quite as much special spam. And your utility with those is pretty based on actually getting kills with them, rather than being able to displace them and then push in with the missiles after the fact. So I don't want to like just nix the idea of support Splatter Shot, because like that's not necessarily, a terrible idea. There are a lot weirder things that I've seen in Splatoon, even at a competitive level of play. Just don't disregard the advantage that the weapon does have in the slaying department, because what you really want to be doing is just doing whatever your team needs for you to do in order to win. And if there is something that your weapon can be doing that you're not taking full advantage of, then you're just not playing the weapon to its full potential. And that's, by a similar token, I talk about the Junior and say, like, no, Juniors can totally get in there and shark. Juniors can take fights. Like, I want people to get past the idea that I should only be supporting or I should only be slaying. It's always a mixture of both, but knowing those general ideas can at least help you understand what your weapon's strengths are, so that you know what to be looking for more often.
Go ahead. Would you say I could use the junior splatter shot instead of the regular splatter shot? Would that be better for me since I take more of a support role? Or
It depends. So Ken's splatter shot is pretty similar to this splatter shot. If you're just looking for the ability to farm for special and throw bombs and then put out a special that's going to help your teammates, there are situations where NZAP would be a really good choice for you. It requires you to have a comp that wants to run a tacticooler, but it's something that can definitely work, especially in Rainmaker. So that's an idea. That would be another weapon to check out. Then the Splash-O-Matic is a weapon that can also paint really well, still slays pretty well, can
Because it
still
has
poke with
burst bomb.
bombs. Right. Still, well, not just because it has burst bomb. It has perfect accuracy on jumping. That's insane. And it has a really fast kill time, too. So it has burst bomb, so it can still poke with bombs. You can still do this from a distance and have a significant impact on fights. And Crab Tank is something that really does want to take the same kinds of positions that, like, you're taking for Trizukas. And, like, being up here a little bit further back isn't a bad thing at all when you can just, like, laser people down with this sort of stuff. So this is a really, really powerful weapon that is highly valued in the meta right now as well, and I think would also be up your alley if you're interested in more of a supportive playstyle. Because this weapon, like, also loves to farm for its special, and it can use that special in a variety of different situations. So I would definitely check this out if you like that.
Yeah.
what level does this weapon unlock at?
That I would need to check in the store, because I unlocked it a long time ago, and I don't remember.
I'm
I can
level
Google
20.
it. I can Google it real quick.
You found it? Level 20?
No. That's just what I'm at in the game.
Gotcha.
I'm Googling it real quick.
It doesn't actually say. It's between the stamper and the tent.
I mean, it doesn't really. Okay, it says it says it's attainable level 16, so you can get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of
besides,
course,
it doesn't really
the
matter.
any of the weapons, you know, you could unlock with 3 Sheldon licenses, but you might as well
Yeah, I was just
do
about
it
to say that.
efficiently. Might as well
Yeah,
do it
I forgot I
efficiently.
had those. Forgot I had those.
So,
Yeah, I don't really. The only weapon I seem to play now is Nautilus because I used to play Slosher and then they killed it with the removing its burst bomb.
so this weapon is really
And-
fun. It's very fast and zippy. It's got a really fast movement speed. It has perfect shot RNG on the ground and in the air. The shots will always go exactly where you aim them, which is super sick so that you can hit these cool jump shots and stuff. And it also, so that makes it really good for aim practice for one thing, because if you miss a shot, you know it was your fault. You know it was not the weapon's fault. And that's really good feedback to have.
Basically dolphining, right?
Dolphining?
You know how like Sharking is like sneaking around and being stealthy?
Oh, okay, and you're just hopping up out of the ink. Yeah, okay, you're dolphin
Yeah,
diving.
jumping
yeah,
up, jumping up, getting kills, and then going back in your ink. That
That's
I
not
invented
something that,
an-
like, you necessarily always want to do.
Term.
Like, doing these kinds of jump shots isn't necessarily optimal all the time, but it is a good way to practice aiming in the air. Because if you do ever want a jump shot, being able to do this is going to help you with hitting those shots. Because sometimes maybe you're stuck on enemy ink and you're not going to be able to paint your feet in time, and so you just take a shot while jumping to stay moving even though you can't move very fast horizontally. And so for being able to hit those kinds of shots, it's useful to know how to do this sort of thing. Know kind of where to aim and stuff. But so that's one idea. That's a really similar weapon. It's going to be a little bit faster, and that might take some getting used to, but that's a good one to choose.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Go for it,
So
go for it.
yesterday I was actually getting into the Flingza roller.
Okay.
At one level, like I think I got 16 splats. It was a tower control level. It was only one game I was able to get that good, but do you think that would be a good weapon for me to kind of master, or not main, but just use more?
Flingza is one of the better weapons in the game right now. Flingza...
Because that's Penta.
there are other reasons, but yeah, that is a big one. The weapon paints pretty well for its missiles, but it's also able to kind of play really safe and hold down an area that it's sitting in and painting. Like, it's really hard to push against this thing because it hits from so far away. So you've got to be really careful about deciding to push into its range, because while it's painting, it's like, no, you don't get to go there. You don't get to go there either. You don't get to go there. Like, I own all of this because
It's the charger of the rollers.
Because I have so much long range. Well, that would be more of the dynamo roller, because it has more range than that even. But
Good point, actually.
but this is one of the premier support weapons in the game. It paints a lot. Not quite as much as a reflux, but it still gets the same special, and it's really versatile weapon, because like you can just attack someone from up close. You can actually play aggressive with this thing still if you want to. You can get underneath the ledge and do that to people. If someone gets on top of you, instead of having to hit like 3 weird tap shots, you just go bonk, and that's pretty simple.
The main downside, I guess, would be its sub, right? Unless you're playing like more passively.
The mine isn't bad for it. The mine lets it check for flanks. So let's say that I'm trying to hold down this angle and I'm trying to paint this angle, but I'm worried that someone sneaks up on me from around this corner. I just pop a mine there. And now I know if someone comes around that corner, and I can turn and attack them before they get their flank off on me. So.
And they might get softened up a little bit from the mine.
Right. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for it. There are just others that would probably be better.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say that, like, this is a pretty solid support weapon for anyone who's interested in the support role. And it is one of the purest supports in the game. It is one of the weapons that really will just kind of farm for missiles and play around those missiles and, you know, paint from the back line and stuff like that.
And create openings for the rest of the team.
Right. So if you're liking it, keep up with it, because that is exactly the kind of playstyle you're looking for.
Yeah. And I remember Chara saying in a video that everyone should play with every weapon in the game at least like a few rounds, at least.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Oh, another thing for you to consider would be sloshing machine. If you like the Flingza sort of play style, but you want to be able to fight a little bit more. Sloshing machine is a real jack of all trades right now. It can support by throwing a bunch of fizzy bombs, and those paint really well. And if it hits someone with a fizzy bomb, then it can just combo that fizzy bomb hit with one of its sloshes. And with a single fizzy bomb hit, okay, that was 2. With a single fizzy bomb hit, you just hit a direct and you've splatted them. And with a double fizzy bomb hit, you hit an indirect and you splat them. So it combos really well with the fizzy bomb. Fizzy bomb paints a lot for it, and it gets booyah. And booyah is a really good special to use from a distance that has like basically global range and has a huge impact on fights too. So all of those are really good qualities of this weapon, and they make it one of the strongest weapons in the game. It's something that has been meta since the start of the game, and you can't go too far wrong with it, however you decide that you want to play it.
Alright, I think... any more questions for you socially?
No, I'll try the splish and maybe
You mean splash?
Splash, yeah.
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 Yeah, sorry. And I'll try the Flingza roller again. It was only
Yeah.
one. Some of the plays were really bad, but after that really good one, I think I might do it more.
Yeah,
main
far be
thing
it for
I
me
have-
to say not to play Splatter Shot, because that's my favorite weapon. But it
yeah.
has a lot of aggressive potential, and that's something that you definitely want to unlock to be able to use it.
Yeah.
There isn't
I'm still
anything
gonna
that the
do-
splatter shot isn't bad at, really, except for
Yeah.
like
I'm still gonna do
backlining,
the
but
splatter
you still
shot.
have your Trizuka for that.
Yeah, I'm still gonna.
The main
use
issue
Splatter
I
Shot.
have with my weapon is I often like try and I don't charge enough in order whenever I get up close against someone. I try to charge like a little bit so I can just barely get the kill, but I just don't charge enough. And sometimes like when I'm trying to paint my feet, I tap it and it doesn't even fire.
Yeah, and that's just something that will come with time. One thing that I would focus on for you, Clover, is making sure that when you're taking an engagement, that someone else has their attention. Trying to play more of that Slayer role than trying to just like run at them right away. Because remember, a Slayer is something that's not necessarily going to initiate fights all the time. A lot of the time, you're going to wait for somebody else to start the fights for you, and then you're going to finish them. So look for that a little bit more often, because there were some fights that we were just kind of like running into and not having full charge for, not being quite ready for. You want to set up a little bit. You want to have kind of a game plan for how the next 2 seconds are going to play out before you actually start firing shots.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to review our replay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you
and
a
thank you
lot.
guys for submitting it.
Yep. All right. I
Nice
gotta
to meet
go.
you. Did you have a question, Socially? Sorry.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I
Thank
heard you
you.
saying something and I couldn't tell what it was, so
Alright.
just making sure I wasn't cutting you
Alright.
off.
Cheers.
Have a good one. All right. So that brings us to the point where we would normally end. I still don't have anything from Manik. One thing that I think I'll do that I might try and make a part of this is I just want to go and play around on each of the weapons that the players played here. So we can talk about my thoughts on these weapons and how they're played. And so we had a slosher earlier, so we'll start with that. We've already got Ninja Squid, which is good. Might as well just keep running that. Because people have said that they find this to be useful, and in the weapon select videos, people are saying that they find that to be useful. So I'm going to start adding this to the sessions here. And maybe we can figure out a different timing for it or something, because, I don't know, maybe we do this before the VOD reviews, so that I can talk about the weapons that they play, and then we can go into it and talk about it in that context. Maybe it's more helpful for me to play after we do the VOD reviews. Maybe we want to do it in right when one VOD review is over, so it's fresh on our minds. I don't know. But I think it's something that people have found to be helpful, and I want to keep kind of giving people that support so that it's as helpful as it can be for them. Good after night. Oh, goodness. I'm going to close that down. We've been dropping frames? We haven't dropped any frames. Alright. That's weird, because I don't have any frame drops showing on OBS, so that must be coming through Restream or something. I don't know what would be causing it to frame, and I hope that it's not something consistent. Okay, well. Great, we're spotters. We're just going to throw one of those, try and slow them down a little bit, and then once we are able to move freely again, without being monitored by the secret police of Splatoon, what I'm doing there is I see a curling bomb, and I'm painting to make sure that there's nobody inside the curling bomb. I couldn't hit that player from as far as I was away, so the best thing that I could do to disrupt them, knowing where they were and knowing they were isolated, was throw the toxic mist at them. That player, that was a situation where I'm trying to take a different angle from my teammates. Because my teammates were covering the angle in front. I didn't need to cover that. I needed to cover what they couldn't see, and that was behind the tower. So I immediately moved over to the right and covered that. That was a really good play from the machine. They had an angle on the tower that I wasn't watching, and so they were able to stop it. I probably could have gotten off the tower a little sooner, since I wasn't realistically going to be able to take checkpoint there with how little control we had of the map. Let's see if I can sneak through over here, because there is a player that went down over on the other side of this stack. Let's see if I can get in behind the machine here. Nah, I fired shots too early before I had my shots on. That's unfortunate. I probably die here. Yep. Ooh, and the rest of my team ran away from it too, so they don't even get to trade me back. So yeah, that was not a great fight for me to take. So the roller knows that I'm checking for them, so they're not going to swim through it all the time. I am marked again, which is a little bit of a nerf to me. Hit one here. We don't want to stay back there too long because they do have a one-shot. I'm going to throw that there, and now if they get up over the top, they're stuck. Get him, teammate. Thank you, teammate. Teammate saved my life there. That should be enough to get the combo off and get... Oh, man, we traded another one back for that. I was hoping that I'd done enough damage there, because I knew I needed to focus on the front to be able to protect myself soon, and I couldn't focus all of my efforts on that engagement. But it took long enough to splat them that I was like, but I still need to help my teammate, and I ended up getting pinched. Shoot. Probably not the wisest thing to get on the tower there. They still have a lot of paint control around that, and so I can't really tell where people are coming from. I'm just trying to get it sent back to mid, and there's no real reason I need for that to happen that quickly. We'll throw that there so that it's annoying for them to try to get on. Now, let's see if I can slip in under here. We don't want to stay there for too long because they will eventually find the angle that they can hit that with. See, because my jump was hidden, this guy has no idea that I'm here. I was even able to miss a shot and still get them. Fine, fine. I wasn't thinking that they were gonna... The tri-stringer specifically was gonna chase me that far. Tri-stringer's over there. We're gonna shark over here. We're gonna try and get in range before they know it. Wow, okay. And that was me missing too many shots and not recognizing it in time and abandoning ship. So I figured I could just chase them down there, but they were able to scramble away faster than I thought. Okay, that's one. There's one on tower here. We get them. That's the last one on tower. The only other one is in freezer, but unfortunately they're going to be able to get up on top. And we need to stop this now. And we need our team to get in there and get them. Yes, good job. Dying for the tower is absolutely the right play for my teammate there. They only need to go 10 more ticks. Like, getting the tower is a priority. We have 3 players to do it. Losing one is not a loss at all. We win the game for doing that. Someone need to be on the tower to pass the checkpoint? Yes. As soon as someone leaves the tower, it will stop making progress. And if you leave the tower for 5 seconds, the tower will start resetting, and you'll lose the progress you made toward the checkpoint. You'll still get the high watermark score for it, but you won't be able to just breeze through the checkpoint as if you had cleared it already. Okay. So that was Tri-Slosher. Then we'll go for Nautilus next. For Clover. This is a pretty good mix of things. And then Ninja Squid isn't the most necessary thing, but I still like it. One of the weaknesses of Ninja Squid on Nautilus specifically is that if you're trying to get charge and then swim through the ink with the charge, that glow is going to be there even if you have Ninja Squid. But I am still going to be able to sneak, and so I could sneak close to someone, you know, maybe get behind cover and be here sneakishly. So I still think that there's value in it, and I'll still run it. That said, I am not a Nautilus main, and I will defer to other Nautilus players on what they think is valuable here. I know a cool dude who is a Nautilus player on Team Spark, which is Dude's team. I know that they have a build up on sendu.inc/builds. There are a couple of players that I recognized on there, so I would definitely look up the builds from there rather than getting them from me, someone who doesn't play the weapon. I'm just trying to figure out what I think is close enough to a good build here. I got pushed from in front, and I think teammates were looking at the left-hand side. So that was a good flank there from the Splash player. At that point, I had to hit all 4 shots and have exactly enough shots to charge. And they're so weak. Oh my goodness. Okay, at least teammate traded that back. Got a Wiper player who's way out on the far left. Let's see if we can get over to them to support from the other side. Oh, I'm going to miss my shots here. My goodness. We need to clear out the area in front of spawn. We're taking these crazy flanks that are not actually helping us get forward on the map. But I also need to hit shots. That's an important part of this as well. Thought they were going to try and come up over the top. Short-range shooters love to do that and deny the enemy backline's ability to get up there. Not that we actually really have a backline weapon here. I'm going to throw that at the top there, and that'll do some damage and force someone over to peer at me. And we don't have anybody watching that. Okay, we do have someone back here that finally got them. But what you want is for someone to be watching the left-hand side and, like, sniping stuff. I was expecting someone to be there. And then you want 2 people forward and 1 right in tower. Here. Okay. Well, that gets us lead anyway. Not a lead I'm super happy with. But we're getting there. Got a checkpoint. Oh, hey, we got a few more points there. That's awesome. I thought I could shred the wall a lot faster than my weapon actually does. That's just on me for... it was limit testing. It was limit testing, you know? It was just seeing, what I can get away with. Yeah, exactly. Right. If I had not hit that patch of ink. How long is this thing lasting? Goodness. Got a little bit of that. I thought that they could not swing that many times and get at me. I was just like, back up over to here and that'll run out in time. Guess not. 'Cause they grabbed like 4 or 5 times in that engagement. What's going on? Where are people? Someone over there. I'm having to play a little bit more of an anchor role than I would like to maybe on the weapon, because everything else on my team is really short-ranged, and we do have to deal with a tri-stringer and a glugadoolies. So I'm like the best shot we've got of having range over them, but it's still not great. This is not where I want to be. Maybe if I go across and I've got charge? I don't know. We don't have time. We need to stop the tower now. I'm just making sure to paint defensively so that the roller can't sneak its way in here. Okay, good job, Panic. Yeah, we're gonna get out of that. Oh my god. I'm trying to throw that into mid. And of course it hit the ceiling. Can you stop, please? I would like it if you would stop that. We need to be on tower in 5 seconds. Ah, I think I actually got messed up by the platform lifting underneath me. But, ugh. I wasn't super happy with that game. I'm going to play another game. I'm going to play another game because I think that that one forced me outside of the role that I really want to be playing on this weapon. It made me play a lot further back. It didn't let me play as aggressively. Not always gets stuck as the anchor in random queue. Hi, the Gumi. First map in the game. It's literally unchanged from Splatoon 2. There's so little that's different about it. It plays pretty much the same way. There's like a little bit that's different about the wall on the left in this mode, but... Cool. Blad guy. Blad? Is that a name? Or is it an adjective? Oh, bald guy. That makes sense. I was thinking Vladimir? Anchor, how do you encourage your team to push up when they should in random queue? If someone's behind you, you can this way. That's usually a sign, like, get away from being behind me. Okay, now we're on the extreme opposite end of that problem, where we are gonna need to push up. We can't really push up as hard as, like, a splatter shot could, but what we can do here is take advantage of the chip damage that my teammates are doing. Oh boy. Okay, good job, teammate. Good job following that up. 2 for 2. Unfortunately, one of our teammates ended up so far back that we can't really contest the tower at all. We lost a fight around it. But that was my doing. So. Yeah, I was forced to jump and wasn't able to charge as much as I needed to. I also wasn't ready with the shots because of the jump. So it's a good wave breaker placement. Very disruptive for me. I'm just going to paint up a little bit. They're going to get some space here. They're going to get the ability to move up, but we can at least set up so that we're ready to defend. All right, so we got 2 of them distracted over here on the left, which meant that nobody was actually protecting the right, and teammates were able to clear that with their blasters. Playing really carefully. Just drawing them out a little bit. Nice. So even though I am a splatling, I am still going to be able to move faster than most of the other weapons on my team. So me being out there and skirmishing a little bit is going to be helpful for them, because they're just going to be able to look in my general direction and splat people. Darn. That was a good trade back. They have a big bubbler, which is going to be a little bit tricky for us to deal with. We did eventually get it down, and just in time for me to fire shots at it, so that's awesome. Let's take a really aggressive flank. What the heck? Let's see if it works. Seems really scary. Okay, we got it. Where are you going? You going here? Okay, good luck. I did not think that I wouldn't be able to see them coming at the wall. So, well played there. I was hoping we were going to be able to get control of the tower while I was there so that I would have teammates pushing up by the time I was being aggressed. I was just kind of alone there. Oh, hi. Please stop. Nice. We cleared the tower. We do need to get near the tower to get on it. Okay, there we go. Now I'm worried that that means my teammate goes down here for this. That's the jet squelcher. I'm not scared of the jet squelcher. Didn't think they could hit that angle. I thought I was only going to be able to hit them because they were jumping. Are we? Yeah, well, I don't have enough charge for this now. I don't know why I didn't have enough charge in the first place. It felt like I only shot like 2 shots after I charged for all that time. Maybe I missed some of them. That would probably do it. I knew there was someone down there. There's someone over here, but they are not going to be able to take tower. There we go. I think what might have happened was I instinctively pressed ZL and didn't even think about it. We get one there. Hopefully your teammate sees this. Oh no. Oh no. That might be game. We need to immediately rush the tower. Oh, let's go. A collat. Oh no. Oh, we stole that from them. Channel redemption points. So the reason that I don't is that the Twitch affiliate agreement prevents you from multi-streaming to YouTube. I can only stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time because I am not entered into that contractual agreement, which would prevent me from doing so. And yes, that does prevent me from getting like money from Twitch subs, but I can get that same money from YouTube memberships. And so really the only downside is like channel points, I guess, bits, Twitch primes. There's not that much of an incentive for me to have that, especially considering I have a bigger audience from YouTube than I would anywhere else. So that's why that is. All right. And now we'll play Splattershot. And you know what? Let's run an LDE Splattershot build. Let's run a support Splattershot build. You know what? Let's go for... I think this is the best that I've got for special charge. This is a very goofy build, but it's going to do what we want it to do. What's the website for seeing what gear people are using? sendu.inc/builds. Let me put that in chat real quick. been talks about affiliates multi-streaming, so it's coming if it isn't already. Maybe, I don't know. Twitch has not made a lot of very good decisions for themselves lately, so I have trouble believing that that's a thing that they would really be interested in. Okay, so I'm going to focus on getting special out here on the left side first. Chuck a few bombs here to create some space. And then let's get up to a position where we can have high ground to use this thing from. We already have 2 down. Pressure from the left. We don't want to let them get on top of us. Knew they were going for tower, knew they had to get it at that angle. Oh, this player's almost dead. Oh, I fiended for it. Man, I greeted so hard. I would like for our attention to be shifting to the left a little bit quicker than this. Make sure. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're good. I'm going to sit right here because this player can't hit us because we have an Inkjet. Oh, there. Nice. So, like, I am trying to play supportive, but if an opponent is in front of me, and I can just take free shots at them, because the Inkjet is protecting me, I'm going to take those free shots. Alright, so that's a couple down. Being, you know, trying to play support... Oh, wow, they might be disconnecting. Trying to play support, I would definitely want to be the one on tower, but since there's already someone on tower, I'm going to help try and push up here. This has been really laggy. Excuse me? There are some shenanigans afoot. Nice. Okay, that should be game. Okay, someone disconnected. Let's try that one more time, because that was not... there were some strange things happening. I guess you won't take the tower then, right? The game was like, wait, you're playing the weapon wrong. Move forward. Let somebody else take it. Because my teammate was able to get up on the tower, and they rode it just fine. Why wasn't I able to? You know what I think it was? I bet that player was like a ghost and they were standing on the tower. And so it thought that they were on the tower still and I was on the tower. And so I couldn't push it forward. It was just frozen in place. Maybe it was something like that. Maybe that kind of situation. That was not the way that the game is programmed to function. We're going to try that one more time. Let's do one more. Okay. Oh, hey, it's Call Me Cool. They're a viewer. I think we've done a VOD review for them before. Oh, I didn't mean to press that. I accidentally just clicked the button. Okay, I guess we're going this way. Well, this is probably the more passive way to go out. This is probably more like get paint on the ground sort of support angle. This is to drop there, and now we can get on zone. No, we can't, because if we do that, we die. He had someone on the right side, and so I thought they'd be overlooking that and they'd have more control on the right, but I didn't check since... That's on me. That's one. We use this on that player. And just nice. Okay. Only really needed one shot, huh? Ah. At least I saw them. I was trying to paint this up before they could get down there, and then I realized, wait, I should be checking above me. Ah. Bad aim on my part. I should have been able to get close enough to just hit shots before they released that. Oh, I also have to remember that I don't have Ninja Squid anymore. That's something that threw me off there. They're definitely just watching me the whole way. Because I've got Special Charge. It is making me move a little faster, which is nice. I still want to do this one more time. Because it didn't feel like I was doing support things. The game ended too quickly. How come you shake your crosshair while inking turf? That's a method for the paint to be more, to not have holes in it. Because when it has holes in it, it's harder to swim through. And I'm always trying to paint in a way that gives us the ability to move quickly and uninterrupted. Thanks for zuking my face. Yeah, no problem. Happy that you could experience that on my behalf. Here it actually makes a lot of sense for me to be playing support. Like, this is a team comp that I can let my two other frontliners go further up and be the painter who stays behind. And then we've just got an anchor for me to work with. Hard to switch to playing support on a weapon. It's more that my instincts are just to push in general. Like, I play juniors this way. We've got special. Okay. Control here. Now we can start putting some forward pressure down with bombs. There we go. Just keep putting paint out, and eventually they'll run into it. That is actually kind of a good thought process if you're playing a very paint-heavy weapon. If you've got paint control, you can really limit where they can fire at you from. So, at a certain point, you're just saying, well, the only way you could walk forward at me is if you go here. And if you do that, I'm going to be shooting you already because I'm pre-firing this spot. So, that was a little bit, I think, more representative of a take of how support splatter shot would kind of look. Once I got the zone, I'm trying to get in front of it and launch Zuka shots and get random bombs and support teammates. If I'm in a position where I feel like I have an advantage, then maybe I take those shots, or maybe I just pre-fire an angle to deny someone that space. But there you go. 5-0. #1 turf inker, #1 splat zone inker. It's a thing. It's not like the #1 thing that top level teams are going to do with this weapon, but it is a lot better than a lot of ideas that people have about how to play the game. Like, you can go, you can do a lot worse than support splatter shot. And let's do a bunch of gacha rolls, because everyone loves gambling. We've got 10 of these? Holy moly. When did I get those? Summer breaking. Summer breaking. Oh, man, I wish. It is getting cold out here. Not streaming? That's great. I might have to think about that one. Not at all streaming. No, me. I get most excited about titles, even though I'm probably never changing mine. Ooh, that was a good ticket. We've got the Rainmaker goal. We've got almost all the objectives. What do you get for... Is there something you get for splat zones? Is that a thing that you can own somehow? You got the zone? Like, what does that mean? Not streaming content creator. Yeah, the titles are fun. They're great. Oh. I literally couldn't aim high enough because my controller bumped the underside of the desk as I was tilting it up. All right. Here's a chunk of Hagglefish Market, exactly, right? Like, what do you put in your locker there? That doesn't make any sense. All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in to Squid School today. We had a lot to go over. Romeo Attacks followed you? Well, I'm going to be watching my 6 for the next little bit. Let's go and raid Milana. You know that my cat's name is Romeo, right? You're spooking me, man. Here are my links. Go check them out. Thank you for watching. Goodbye now.